to the Cinementalists. Noun, plural. Definition, those whose love for movies runs so deep, they can't help but do a podcast about them. Hosted by Colton Robertson and Joseph George. Hello everybody and welcome in to the Cinementalists. We've got a special Thanksgiving episode for you today. It is our tradition that spans back to 2021 now. This is our fourth Thanksgiving doing this, which is absolutely crazy. Me and Joe love to do a live commentary of a movie as the clock strikes midnight on Thanksgiving. You know, we talk about a movie we're thankful for. In the past 3 years, it's always been Star Wars. However, you know, we've had the Penny Bloom podcast going. It's been a lot. You know, we had a long running show over there. It's still going, by the way, but we've decided to dedicate an entire podcast to movies here on the Cinementalists. We've done Star Wars: A New Hope, we've done Rogue One, and we've done Solo: A Star Wars Story. But now on the Cinementalists, we've already done live commentaries for the entire original trilogy. We've got plans to do live commentaries for the entire prequel trilogy. We've got plans to do live commentaries for the entire sequel trilogy. So it seems a little pointless to do a Star Wars movie on Thanksgiving this year. So for the first time ever, we are straying from that tradition and we are doing The Batman. Mm-hmm. And I am so very, very excited. I'm Colton Robertson. I'm joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
What up, homie? It is always I'm thankful to be here. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm thankful to have you here. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we've got a lot to look forward to, and we're gonna jump right in because this is the longest movie we've ever attempted a live commentary for. Yes. However, I would advise that if you are listening, you turn on the movie with us, pull it up on Max, whatever. If you are on Max, there's a little HBO presentation thing at the beginning. You're going to pause at 3 seconds into the Max showing. If you are watching on a Blu-ray or 4K, you should be able to just pause it at 000. We should be good. A little complicated, a little bit of a disarray there, but just how it is. So I'm going to count us in. I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, punch it, as is tradition. Mm-hmm. Punch it doesn't apply so much to Batman, but we're sticking with it. We're sticking with it. You know, he punches them. Yeah, he punches them. Yeah, so I'm going to go 3, 2, 1, punch it, and on punch it, we press play. Are you ready, my friend?
Oh, yeah. I've been ready for this one.
All right. Then let's get it. 3, 2, 1, punch it. And we are off. Do you recall the feeling you got the first time in the cinema you watched this beautiful title card that's about to pop up happen?
I can't think of another theater experience that's just like this. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's my favorite, I think, of my lifetime. I don't know if I can say that one is above this, a theater experience. It is either, Endgame's kind of tough, but like that's just more for the cultural impact and everything like that. But as just the movie goes, this is just
it's a different breed, man. You know, because I've talked about this before on various occasions, but I grew up on Kevin Conroy. I grew up on animated Batman. You know, I even arrived at the Dark Knight trilogy quite late. I think it was 2018 the first time I watched The Dark Knight, which is 10 years after its release. And I watched The Dark Knight. I didn't watch Batman Begins. I jumped straight into the one that everyone said I should watch. So I don't even know when I actually watched the trilogy for the first time. But that being said, I'd never clicked with a live-action Batman. And then we got that giant title card, the first Batman movie I'm ever seeing in theaters. We open on this scene, and it's like, you know, the mystery's building, and I'm already more gripped than I've ever been when it came to a Batman movie. So it'll always hold a special spot in my heart. That first theater experience and the 4 theater experiences I had after that with it, a whole 5 times in the cinema. This is my 15th watch of the Batman, which is absurd.
Yeah, I think, did I start Letterboxd after? I think
would have been
my
well after.
Letterboxd. Yeah. So there's probably a lot of watches that were just before the logs, and then also me just being lazy and forgetting to log some. So I guess only on Letterboxd I have 8. This would be the 8th log that I will have. But I know
I actually have noted. I know it's my 15th, and I know it's more than that for you. Which is saying a lot.
Yeah, yeah. It's. I mean, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
No, it's a great thing.
Yeah,
It's a great thing.
I can never get enough of this movie. I don't know. Even after this many times I've seen it, I'm still not discovering new things really, but it's just kind of like it's strengthening every connection that the movie made. I don't know. It's just only making it stronger.
This is I don't know if it's your first watch on the other side of the Penguin now.
Actually, it is. Yeah, I watched it one time after the first episode of The Penguin. So, but not after the whole thing. So, yeah, this is definitely the first. Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, there we go.
Very different. Yeah. So,
got the mentions of Salvatore Moroni case, the Salvatore Moroni there. Now that we know it's Clancy Brown, we got a face with the name, and then obviously this reveal right here is fucking epic. Just the glowing eyes there. Oh. God damn, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, and
skin crawling shit right there.
In I mean, I guess we have the movie on mute here, so that it doesn't, be picked up, obviously. But like the music and just all the noises.
Michael Giacchino's score is fucking phenomenal. One of my favorites ever, man.
Yeah, I don't. There's really they got everything right. Like the font of the I don't know, of the Batman, just the marketing, the red, the poster, I don't know, like there's not really a single thing I can point to where I'm like, yeah, actually I wish they would have done this a little bit differently. It's
it's just that good, man.
I feel like I'm just an ultimate Patterson, like Battinson Glazer at this point. Like I don't know, I feel like I'm a shill. I will only have good things to say.
God, and this scream Paul Dano lets out here in a second, so good. The roar, that right there. Yeah.
Yeah, his first, I mean, this is his first kill. He even says later on his strength is not, physical. So this is a lot for him. He's an accountant that's just been slowly cooking in the background and getting pissed off and created this grand plan.
That didn't kill him, if you'll recall. He just bludgeoned him. Because if you'll recall Robert Pattinson's line later on when he goes, ecchymosis, around the wound. It was alive when it was cut off, like all that good stuff. He's not dead yet, bro. He's still got to tape him up and everything. So bro's just going through hell. Don has a tough night here, Mayor Don Mitchell.
Man, yeah, I guess there might be a new discovery, I guess. I knew that Batman said that line, but I never actually thought that, like, yeah, I guess that does mean he's still alive. I always thought that line was more of just, showing how great of a detective, and his skills and everything like that. But yeah, no, I
mean, those blows do kill him. He's just not dead yet.
True.
It's a slow, painful one, though. So that's good stuff. Thursday, October 31st. Yeah! That was when I was like, you know what? This is my favorite Batman movie. The first time I watched it, I was like, you know what? I'm in. And this Gotham is outstanding, man. Just the play on Times Square, but still giving it that Gothic feel of, the classic Gotham City that we know. Greg Fraser's photography is unbelievable.
This sucks that this is what it reminds me of. That spiky helmet, it was a little bit ago in the crowd, just reminds me of Scooby-Doo 2002.
Scooby-Doo.
Yes,
yep.
And I have to think it's like a nod for some reason.
It's an homage.
It's like this is not really the DC, but here's a way to get something in there. It definitely
Here's a fun little Easter egg. Good Times Grocery is the name of this grocery store here. Robert Pattinson was in a movie called Good Times, and this costume is based off of his character, the red jacket and the sweatshirt and all that. Yeah.
The drop head. Okay, I was like the drop head
here.
Like even
the drop head specifically is inspired by his character design.
Man, that's
a good movie, by the way. You got to check it out. Good Times. It's a Safdie brothers one. The guys who did Uncut Gems, and the guy who was in Oppenheimer who said, "You're going to need a bigger until the man builds bigger bomb," or whatever the fuck.
Okay, gotcha.
That guy.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I need any more Pattinson I can get in my life. I really
good one there.
Yeah. I know him obviously from this. Tenet, is one of my other kind of favorites with him in there, obviously, and then I don't know,
Twilight.
Of course. Without Twilight, we would not have this. We all made fun of Twilight at the beginning, and it was just fun to get in on the hate for whatever reason, and I never even watched them. And then I watched them over and over with my sister, forcibly at first, but then voluntarily.
They grow on you.
After
They grow on you. Yeah,
but,
they do. They do. They're good.
Man, yes, the actual eye black on the eyes. Why was every Batman too afraid to do this? But I don't know. Or was it just never really like they just, whenever they take the mask off, the eye black just comes off. You know, it is just kind of cleaner that way in the movie. But
God, that shot right there is beautiful.
Yeah, that's because in that room they're in the volume there, but that's not a volume shot there, is it? Or maybe
it probably is.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah. Wow. Because I always thought the volume was just that golden hour, but they probably anytime they're up there.
This music swell that happens here in a little bit. They think I'm hiding in the shadows. Whenever the can rolls into the alley, and it just. I fucking love it. Michael Giacchino's score is just classic.
Yeah.
And yes.
Oh, dude, it's and just
right there.
Even this, we haven't even seen him in suit yet, and everyone's already afraid of him. You know, like even like I don't know, as the audience, you're just like, yep, he's filling the role.
And that's something that building that up in this movie does make me kind of iffy on that fact in the Penguin that nobody gives a flying fuck about him. Obviously, these are pretty small-time guys. You know, hooligans who are just beating up on people because they can and spray painting, tagging shit. You know, like this is small-time stuff. Maybe the higher-ups, you know, the big bads, they're not too concerned with him yet. Maybe that's a point that they're about to get to. With the coming, his aim goes up, you know, the more that he's Batman. But
yeah, I mean, I guess Alfred does say, you know, after he gets a letter from the Riddler, like, you're becoming quite the celebrity now. And if that is that just because this is the first time in which that he's getting attention, or is it like repeated and it's like, okay, well now I can't really ignore this. You know, is there what happened before? What was his origin?
Right.
You know, which is crazy that we don't have the origin. Like it. I don't know, you had Batman Begins and then The Dark Knight. Yeah, I was right there with you. I watched The Dark Knight first, but then you could go back and get the origin and how he becomes Batman and everything. Man. But
yeah,
here he is.
Spurs clinking down the hallway, dude. Yeah.
Couldn't be on a more perfect night, you know. So that one guy could just be an idiot and say like, "Oh, who are you supposed to be, bub?" You know, it's like, well. I guess if he has that reputation, you know, do you think this guy really knows and he's just trying to act tough and be like, oh, no way, it's actually him? You know, like,
there's part of him that's trying to act. I mean, like, just think about this in the context of real life. Obviously, we know Batman as a mythologized character who dresses up like a bat and beats the shit out of people. If a dude emerged from the shadows dressed like a giant bat, you'd probably think he was a major fucking dweeb, you know, or insane, one way or another. But if a guy did this, I'm bolting instantly. There's no fucking shot. I'm sticking around to try to fight the guy. I don't care if there's 8 of us. We're done.
Yeah.
We are done.
Yeah, I mean, they...
Yeah, holy shit, it's him. Who the fuck else is dressing up like a bat?
Yeah, I don't know what that first... I mean, the first dude was just in denial, I think. And then, yeah, some dudes, I don't know. Do some dudes actually just bolt? No, yeah, they all stick around to fight. They all decide to take their turns, you know? Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Classic superhero stuff.
Got to. I mean, they did have how do you do that? If you do have 8 people, do you all just bum rush someone? And
you can't really do that, you know? It's just, you can't really get your shots in if you do that. That's one of those things that's always bugged me about that quote-unquote critique of superhero movies and action movies is that, like, one guy, they're attacking him one at a time. Really, you're only getting max 2 people effectively attacking someone, or else it's not cinematic, and it's ugly as shit, you know?
Yeah, with, like, lightsabers and stuff, it's a little different. You can deflect, and, like, there can be more than one person at a time, like, kind of going in, but, I don't know, fist to fist, like, it's
really intimate. It's really intimate.
And here's, I don't know, a future character here. I don't know, running off, or are we? Is this the Robin that we will get later?
The way, that'd be cool. The way that this moment parallels the ending with the, please don't hurt me. We get this exact shot with him caked in mud watching the chick rise up on the stretcher.
Mm-hmm.
You remember?
Oh, yeah.
Looking at the signal as a sign of fear versus what they need now is hope. It's just a great visual parallel that I've always been really fond of. And the way that he towers over this room is another one of my favorite visual cues in the movie. Because Pattinson, I mean, he's a tall guy, he's 6 feet, but they do a lot to elevate him, I feel like.
I guess he's got some boots on, I mean, they kind of look like some thick boots. I guess a little platform there, but then
he's got a little platform going on.
You got to make the Batman tall. I mean, it's
God, his mask is so fucking clean, and I love the collar. I love the collar and cowl, and the leather. Oh God, it's so fucking cool. I'll never understand hate for this suit. I can't fathom it. I once saw somebody say that the logo's not even a logo; it's some stupid knife. Like, yeah, that's fucking dope. What's your problem?
It is it for one still is a logo. I mean, it's
yes,
on
it is.
His
It
chest.
is literally a bat knife.
Yeah, and I mean, I wonder if he throws it ever. Like, if he uses it as a major boomerang, like batarang,
it'll become a batarang at some point. He'll be forced to use it that way at some point. In
the Arkham games, I mean, it's a video game, so obviously this can be in there. But there's a remote controlled batarang that you just go wherever you want. And I wonder if there's like a little drone, I don't know, something in there, and it can be like maybe not a batarang where it hits someone, but like a reconnaissance kind of I don't know, little drone thing. But I don't know, you use it as a knife. I don't know, you put a knife on the edge of a drone sort of thing. But I don't know, I'm trying to think.
that beat's always been so funny to me. Whenever he walks over and then Pattinson enters frame, it's so fucking funny. That's something this movie it gets plenty of credit for being funny because of the Penguin, because of Oz. But there are so many funny little moments. One of the funniest things about this movie that isn't played for laughs at all, but just always gets me a little bit, is the way that Gordon calls him man. Like I don't even know who you are, man. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Like, he just calls him man. He's like, come on, man. Like, he's just some guy to him, which I think is really fucking funny. And it, again, just recontextualizing it in a real world place, like, this is just some guy. He's some guy dressed up as a fucking bat.
Yeah.
God, and sorry to be all over the place, but Greg Fraser's photography, that little shot where they shift focus on his boots to the floor, and like the radial blur, like, I don't even know how you do that. I don't even know how that's possible. And like, that's beautiful stuff.
Just naturally pulling focus. It looks beautiful, but I feel like it pulls your eye. Like, literally, it just gets you to look at what they want you to, and like, it's perfect in this. It, like, the lady, with a camera as well, comes up and is like, oh shit, like, yeah, damn, like,
that's a place I need to be looking. Yeah,
I don't know, I don't know, they got everything down. His detectiveness, and everything he picks up, and just, I don't know, I like his. I don't know what voice. I guess if I had to pick, like, what voice I hear in my head as Batman, it's still kind of Christian Bale right now. And I think it's mainly, sadly, because of the college humor YouTube parody videos with him. Where are the other jokes going? Where is the Joker? Yeah, like, where's the Joker? So I don't know if it's fully to Christian Bale's credit. Not gonna dog on the guy. He did great. But it's like this voice, just the soft, just Thursday. I don't know. Just like it
works. It works, man.
Man, yeah. That internal monologue. I wish I could just have. I don't know. It gets me just going. Like, a fire is lit every time I hear that monologue at the beginning. But.
And there we have the man who gets to say the only curse word in this movie. He also says the only curse word in Star Wars.
No way.
Yes.
Really?
He's the one who gets to say shit in Andor. He's bootlicker. Yeah, he's bootlicker to Narc. Whenever they're surrounding them, he's like, oh, shit. So he gets to deliver Happy fucking Halloween and the only shit in Star Wars. I had to tie it to Star Wars somehow. It's Thanksgiving after all.
Have to. Is this R rated or is it PG-13?
No, this is PG-13, okay, so which is what's really fucking funny about the shift between this to the Penguin is that the Penguin is so much more vulgar, like intensely more vulgar, and extreme in its violence and extreme in its depictions of violence, which you don't really like. It's a credit to this movie that it didn't need to do that to be as strong as it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, like, Sophia pops a kid in the head, like episode 2, right, of the show? I don't know. I feel like that was very...
It's the end of the first one.
Holy shit. Yeah, I mean, they go no hold, like, nothing was held back over there, it seemed. And yeah, here, it seems
really
like an R movie.
Man. Sorry.
No, yeah, it's anytime Jeffrey Wright speaks. I mean,
I love him. I love Jeffrey Wright.
I mean, he's got to become captain, right? Yeah, I mean,
I
like
lost a friend. Yeah, no, he's well on his way.
Commissioner. Sorry,
commissioner.
What I meant there, but
because I think he's lieutenant right now, Lieutenant Gordon.
And then Nuke. Yeah, we still have the current captain. Jim, what are you talking for? What's Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on his name. Captain something. I don't know. Is it Captain something, or they just call him? I don't know. Does he even have a name? But yeah, I don't know how long I listened to this song on repeat. Just the soundtrack, and like I made a Batman playlist that just had the soundtrack and Nirvana, basically. Yeah, it was like that's all it was.
Well, and I love the in-universe context that he's like, he grew up in the 90s, so he's just a really big Nirvana fan because he turns down the music here in a second. He's actually listening to something in the way.
Yeah, that's
God, like that. That's gorgeous.
Oh,
Sorry.
God, yeah.
Like this, that's gorgeous. Like the way that they depict Gotham is just so strong. And it's just, like it's just elevated enough. The one complaint I had about Nolan's trilogy is that Gotham becomes more and more just Chicago. You know what I'm saying? It's just a city. Batman Begins, it does a really good job of depicting the Narrows, and everything is it's really gritty and grimy, and it's Gotham. But then it's just a city. Yeah. And there's something just elevated enough about this, and the Penguin kept it going, that it still feels like an unreal city that could still be very real. And I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. I guess that's kind of where there might be a downside, where Nolan, he wants it to be real. No VFX, as little VFX and CGI as possible. But in this situation, like, you kind of need a non-real city. I don't know, like, I've never really been to Chicago, and like I feel like I recognize the skyline, but like some shots, like I don't know, it seems just like a unknown city to me when I was growing up. But then now every time I watch again, it's like, oh yeah, no, that's just literally they're filming in Chicago. But here, I mean, they could have filmed, I mean, I don't like do you know what city they actually filmed in, and like that they're adding stuff to? Yeah, I wonder how much of the city is added in afterwards versus just actually on location. But I mean, yeah, you can't pinpoint a city. I don't know. I couldn't even guess on where it's filmed. Maybe New York.
Yeah, I definitely don't recognize the skyline,
yeah. So.
And an eerie coincidence? Nah, that ain't no coincidence. Bro, I knew what he was doing, bro. He does puzzles, and that's like what he loves. He loves puzzles, bro. I'm too deep, and we're 20 minutes in, so it's only gonna get better.
Oh no, yeah, I'm a ticking time bomb over here as well. I think I hope
you got the Eddie going.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's not feeling anything quite yet, but that's the thing, is that it's always a brick wall. I feel like
it's sudden.
it'll sneak up on me a little, but I hope the theories don't go. Yeah, I hope the theories. I don't know. I don't really have any theories with the Batman anyways.
Man, that's the fun of the. Well, the thing is that this is a 3-hour live commentary. We are going to have to get creative, which is why I am drinking. I won't run out of things to say that way.
This is true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why I'm having some fun. I love the retro futurist tech thing he has going on. I love that it's very analog while still being techie. Like, that's really, really cool. The contacts that take photos for him, and then they get printed out, and it's just and it looks like classic printer type shit. Like it's just cool, man. I love that sort of tech. It reminds me again of Star Wars, the retro futurist thing.
Okay.
Which is I appreciate.
Yeah. And I feel like his Batmobile is a little the same. It's got the new kind of literal jet engine on the back, but also very, very old muscle.
It's a classic muscle car.
Yeah. It's got I know he does have a thing for the retro, it seems. But yeah, I'm not mad about it, that's for sure. I mean
No, not at all.
The only kind of, I don't know, I feel like we might disagree still. I don't know. I haven't asked in a while, but I think that you stand on the side that Riddler does not know who Bruce is, or Bruce and Batman are the same person.
Yes.
And I don't know. I think I feel like I'm like 40% like that he does. Like that, and there's been certain things in the movie that have just like I don't know if I'm giving him too much credit is the thing. I think is what it comes down to.
I do. And that's why, like, I'm excited as the movie progresses to kind of point to reasons why I expressly don't think he does know. Because I won't be upset if there was like some sort of like if Matt Reeves was like one day, yes, he knew. That's what he's doing at the end of the movie, I'd be like, "Oh, okay, cool." Because there's plenty to go on that would indicate he does. And maybe it is just me wanting him to not be that smart that indicates to me that he doesn't know. But the more the movie progresses and the more that he comes up and we actually get to see some of the things, I'll point them out and kind of try to build on that a little bit, because that is going to be one of the main points of discussion for us, especially in the latter half of the movie. I have to imagine. And that's... but we haven't even commented here on Andy Serkis. Underrated in this movie. Obviously not given a ton to do, but he's a good Alfred, man. I appreciate that they go with the, we get some allusions to origin. They're not depicting the origin, but they're going with the classic Alfred was an MI6 agent and he trained Bruce in fighting, and that's how he's so skilled and stuff. He's not the posh butler who doesn't do, it was just kind of like, oh, I love you and you're my son. That's part of it. But he feels responsible for Bruce in a way because he taught him these things, and I think that's really cool.
I mean, he is responsible also for one of the scenes. I mean, guaranteed cry every time after he wakes up in the hospital. Bruce is a little angry at first. You lied to me. It's kind of okay. Well, maybe not the first thing you say to him.
Give him a sec.
But then that little hand outreach at the end. Just someone I care about. And this, God damn it, I don't know. It gets me every time. But so yeah, I mean, he doesn't really have a whole lot, but man, when he's in here, he's effective at what he does. And
I love this shot coming up at the beginning of the parking garage right here. The garage lifting in the reflection of the car. God, that's so cool. God, that's so cool. It's things like that look straight out of a comic book panel. Like right here specifically, them walking in, the silhouettes, like that's it's just peak Batman stuff right there. And that's what I love about this movie, is that it gets Batman, and it's one of the major influences was the Long Halloween, which is a brilliant book. If you ever get a chance to read it, you absolutely should. I feel like just visually, it takes so much from that art style. And that's so difficult to do, translating to a live action film. And it's crazy that it pulls it off as effectively as it does. But I absolutely love it.
Like Gotham, or just kind of overall general like art style, or like Gotham in specific, or like the suit, or like I guess what sort of details?
More, I mean, just generally the lighting and the way the texture of the movie is kind of what I'm talking about. Catwoman is specifically when Catwoman's involved, I get a lot of those vibes. I'm trying to remember the name of the artist, and I feel so bad that I cannot remember it off the top of my head because he is so talented. He just passed away a couple years ago. That is going to bug the shit out of me. In fact, I'm going to look it up. Because I can. We've got 3 hours on our hands.
The artists deserve their flowers. That is, that's for sure. I don't know why. I'm thinking of Batman Year One, but that's probably not the same artist. I think that's the only.
No, that is not.
Yeah, that's the only Batman book or comic book that I've read so far.
Tim Sale. Tim Sale. I wanted to say Jim. It's Tim. It's because Jim Gordon's on screen. Tim Sale, written by Jeff Loeb. And Batman Year One, I want to say
Frank something, I feel like.
Frank Miller, is the
Watchmen,
writer,
maybe?
I believe.
Okay, no, so that is. Okay.
Batman Year One is written by Frank Miller, but the art is by somebody else. David Mazzucchelli, his typical artist. They also did Daredevil Born Again together, which is really, really strong.
Yeah,
we get our first Oz glimpses here.
I was walking out at the same time. Doesn't mean I was rolling with them. It doesn't mean I was rolling with them, you know. I wonder how many lines of this movie I do have memorized at this point. Maybe
more than you'd think.
Yeah, it's always like an old song that comes on and you start singing the lyrics. And you're like, how do I actually know all of these words? I don't know where they were stored, but
I got an idea. Yeah, no. Actually, me and Emily were watching Desperate Housewives recently. The television show Desperate Housewives. The twins are in that. These two. They play twins in the show. They play like as much younger kids, like about 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And I recognized them, and I was like, I think those are the twins from the fucking Batman.
That's crazy.
And they are, lo and behold.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen them in anything before, and I guess I just haven't quite gotten around to Desperate House. Wow, but I don't know.
You probably won't ever get around to Desperate Housewives,
I feel like...
for what it's worth. We dropped it after 7 seasons.
7 seasons? I mean, you got that far.
There's 9 of them.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's... I don't know. Was it just really a terrible...
Just a bit too much. Just a bit too much. Gets to be a lot.
Man, but...
God damn, this is gorgeous, man. I love the way they shoot the Iceberg Lounge. And this fight, the sound you were pointing to a little bit ago, this is when it's on full display. Whenever the volume is fucking blaring, the music is pumping, he's knocking motherfuckers' heads in, you're getting the thuds and the thumps. Here before long, he like launches his grappler through one of the twins' knees. The sounds the bat makes bouncing off people right here when it hits this guy's nose. It's my favorite sound in the movie. That right there. So good.
Boom! I mean, a full, like, can you imagine taking a full force throw of a baseball bat to the nose? I mean, lucky the dude only broke his nose and didn't shatter his whole skull. But, okay, one thing I did notice while that sequence was going on, there were red lights that were flashing in line, just like the therapy that was used in the Penguin. And I mean, it was exactly the red LEDs going down in a straight line.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I had just it felt unfinished. I don't know why that part of the Penguin. And like I felt like there was some connection with Bliss, and maybe, but the Bliss isn't a thing yet. So no.
Yeah, not yet.
Yeah.
It could just be a visual language carryover. You know, just one of those things. Sort of a visual continuity.
Man. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's just red, and Bliss is red. That was the only thing I had to go off of. So, like, I feel like there's really no connection anyways. I'm just trying to piece together
you
something.
Don't buy, baby. Come on now.
Yeah.
I love the way that we can fully, on the other side of the Penguin, gather Oz's character just so much more effectively. Like, don't get me wrong, they already did a really good job at forming the idea that he's kind of desperate. You know, there's that moment here in a second whenever he slams him against the wall. He's like, do you know my reputation? He's like, yeah, I do. Do you? You know, like, do you realize how much everybody fucking hates you and how much of a loser you are?
Ooh, yeah, I guess he's got to take care of his people, you know, and he thinks his people are his people, but you know, they're just there for the money, you know. I don't think.
Look at that. Yeah. It's good stuff, man.
Oh shit, look at that. Yeah, no. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I loved him. That's the crazy thing. After this movie, I loved him. Like he's like one of my...
Oh yeah, I want more of that character. Now I'm like, you know what? If Batman breaks his no-kill rule once, it's okay. Yeah. You know?
Damn, why didn't that window just actually shatter there and he just fell through?
And he fell through and died, and Vic's okay. You know, I love Colin Farrell in this movie, though. That's one thing that, and in this role, and in the show, everything. He's so good as Oz, because you forget that it's Colin Farrell. You know what I'm saying? Like That is a sexy motherfucker
Mm-hmm.
who is oozing sexual charisma, just so hot and perfect. And he's up here being the most grotesque motherfucker you can imagine in that show, and a little bit in this, and a little bit in this movie. But just what he's putting on, what he's bringing to the table. I saw a video of him talking in his normal voice in the penguin makeup, and it felt illegal.
Oh, that
it
would
felt
be trippy.
illegal.
Yeah, that.
Oh, it's bizarre.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is that like after one of the Penguin episodes, just like the director's kind of cut thing at the end, it just Colin Farrell was in a green headband, just laying back, you know, just being all Irish as fuck, and like with this thick Irish accent, you know. And I'm just like, oh my god, that's the Penguin. I'm like,
how the fuck does he even do that? Like one of the things he said, it was like on Rap Day was the video I watched, and he's like, I'm thankful I don't have to keep doing the fucking voice, and he's he's doing the whole fucking, he's doing his Irish accent, and he's talking like that, and and it's like, oh my god. Like, you're the guy that's behind the penguin makeup, and it's crazy. I love him. And furthermore, I love Zoe Kravitz in this role as Selena Kyle. Probably, Anne Hathaway does a really, really good job in The Dark Knight Rises. Mm-hmm. However, she's a woman written by Christopher Nolan in the worst of the Dark Knight trilogy. It's going to be a rough break. Even so, she does a fantastic job with it. There's just so much more obvious love that this character is getting from a directorial and writing standpoint. They just obviously care so much more about this character than Nolan and his writing team did on Rises.
Yeah, I guess we never had a moment like this at all, or close to it with Anne Hathaway's Catwoman. And
there's just a lot more nuance to this character, you know what I'm saying? Like, Anne Hathaway's is much more, oh, is she good, is she bad, and she's bad but in the good way, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of the whole it's kind of the whole thing with Anne Hathaway. Anne Hathaway's Selena Kyle, but I love that shot too, by the way. And I think it's so funny. I saw a discourse recently about how this is a little fucked up, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's like the fucking point, dog. We're not trying to depict Bruce as being healthy, like this is inappropriate behavior. He's looking when he shouldn't be looking, and he knows he's doing it when he shouldn't be doing it, and that's part of what makes it a good character moment.
Yeah, he even took the sidestep over to get the view. He could have just stayed there and been like, all right, go change. I'll wait for you to get back. I guess maybe he didn't know. Well,
and we also see the literal transformation of Selena going from Selena mode to Catwoman mode. Like, that is what that is. She enters a new room, she puts on the costume, and then the dismount and everything. Like, she's exquisite, dude. Yes, I love it. And she might be my favorite character in this movie.
She needs a
we'll obviously give the love to Bruce and Robert Pattinson, kind of implicit in the character performance category. But I want to shine some light on some other characters and performances, obviously. Selena Kyle, Zoe Kravitz as Selena Kyle, character-wise, might be my actual favorite element of this movie. I think she adds just the romance layer, which I'm a sucker for. That's my favorite part of any movie. This might be my favorite shot. Her lowering in there, when I was talking about the long Halloween art style, this whole sequence is fucking oozing in it. Like, it's just perfect, dude. And furthermore, she's perfect as Catwoman. We get to see her do her cat burgling. You're pretty good at that. I love the chemistry they have and the way that they perform together, and they're just so good at bouncing off one another. And Zoe Kravitz, she's perfect at bringing Selena Kyle to life.
Yeah, I was gonna a pretty major difference, I think, between Anne Hathaway and this Catwoman. Like, I guess you actually have a Selena Kyle here. We have a Selena and a Catwoman, while in The Dark Knight Rises, it's like only Catwoman.
That's true.
There's
That's
really
fair.
No Selena, and she's just in there. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is just so sexual too. Like, I don't know.
Oh my god.
Like,
this is bisexual panic right here.
Holy shit. Like, are you kidding me? Like, the slam on the table too is just like, and then
I was sitting in theater. I looked at Emily when this moment happened in the theater. I went, oh, like I was
Boom.
like, yeah, baby, you know what it is.
Yeah. And then the pin up against the wall with the hand over the mouth.
The pin up against, and then the way that they're like, I'm gonna point it out here in a second because it's just too good. The way he's like playing with her, he's keeping her at arm's length and everything. Like he's got the dominance in the situation. They just ooze sexual chemistry, and the way their breath syncs up.
Yep. Oh,
the way they start to breathe in unison. They start going.
The hand on the other hand, not the mouth, the lower hand, the placement. I don't know, it's just everything. Everything.
Yep. Everything about it is just, like that right there, man. That is the bat and the cat. That's everything. That's what you want from this chemistry.
Eyes right there. Like she's
looking up a little bit.
She's like, oh my God. I don't know. It's just.
Now she's like, all right, that's enough. Like that whole thing. It's just.
She's like, all right, I like it for a little bit. Okay, now I have to act like I didn't. All right, I hated that.
Exactly.
I'm fucking done now. Yeah, you get the wrong idea. Yeah, I don't know. She's perfect. Yeah, I don't know. It is. There's no question of the Catwoman competition. It's it's just
the GOAT right there. The GOAT.
And I hope she gets her own show. I mean, that would be I would really love a Sophia season 2, or whatever, to be like the next show or something. But it'd be awesome if we get her adventures outside of Gotham. And then maybe like something draws her back in or something like that, and that's the start of the next movie is she's coming back in, or who knows? I mean, maybe she could rope back into.
Yeah, maybe she takes a movie off though too. Maybe she does have her own adventures and stuff. Maybe there is something there, but yeah, I don't know. There's just a lot of potential with a character like Catwoman.
Yeah, I mean, Falcone's
again,
one of the Falcone daughters, and like if blood ever becomes important, like. The whole City of Owl, the Court of Owl, like discussion, the only thing to go off of is one shot of the Penguin when he's in the courtroom, and it kind of looks like there's some owls back there. But like that, I feel like that's the only time that like blood would ever become important, and like if that would become like a very important fact is that she does have Falcone blood in her. But I mean, Sophia's still alive. I don't know, and I guess we did get that letter from Selena at the end of the Penguin.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like it feels like she's going to be. I don't know if that's their way of saying she's going to be in the next movie, or like this is just the natural progression of the shows, or how,
or the natural progression of their story together. Like because we do end kind of open with her in this, and we do end kind of open with Sophia in the show. So like. There is a little bit of a what comes next for both of them, and we have a direction now, and I kind of dig that. But this is obviously brilliant scene.
Oh my God,
that contraption is fucking horrifying.
Yeah,
I don't even. What are you showing me? that whole thing. Yeah, agreed.
Like what? We don't actually get to see that. It's like what? Like what? So these, I mean, like the only time I've seen something like this is like in Fast and the Furious, whenever they put mice in a bucket and then they put a torch on like the end of the bucket, so it just forces.
They do that in Thrones too.
Oh shit, that's right. Yeah, okay, fair enough. But this is just, I don't know. This is a whole different level. This is like the slow. Over time, it just eats your face and your stomach, I get, like, or just your whole body. It's just, I don't know. That's probably the
death
worst.
By 1,000 bites.
Yeah, that's the worst
sort of
death
thing.
of all of. I think everyone in the. I don't know of the death side want. I feel like the bludgeoning to the head.
Last,
by
like a lot.
Yeah, I mean that sucks, but you're not going to feel anything after a little bit.
Well, and we got the another wonderful little bit about this scene is that Batman's in a room full of cats. As he's in a room full of mice, and we're literally playing a game of cat and mouse.
My God, come on! Now.
I mean, obviously it's rats; it's different, but still, like it's it's the game of cat and mouse.
Yeah.
That is what they're doing.
Shit, that is okay. Damn, I don't know. Maybe there will be. I said at the beginning that like I don't really discover too many different things, but I don't know.
There's a little bit. There's a little bit
many
there
so far. So there's a lot of movie to go still. So. Feel like
got a lot of cats.
Have a thing about strays. Man.
And you're like, damn, locked right back in with it, huh? I gotta say, there was a line delivery a second ago that I didn't get to call out that is probably my least favorite of the movie. And it is Zoe Kravitz because it just feels so fucking corny whenever, and maybe it's coming up, I don't know. Or maybe it did just happen. Either way, whenever she goes, in 44 Below and he's like, what's that? She goes, the club. The real club.
Oh, uh-huh.
The club within the club. It's so fucking corny. It kills me, man. It already happened. But like, every time she says it, I'm like, that's just such mean girl bullshit right there. And it kills me.
Yeah,
the club within the club.
Come on.
You know, and it's like, and it's not her fault. Like, it's not her delivery. It's like literally the line itself is just like, there's no way around it. It's going to come off corny. But it's so funny, man.
Oh man,
rat poison seems to be his theme here. Yeah, no, I love Jeffrey Wright, man, and obviously me and you have been we've not been shy about how much we love Jeffrey Wright. You know, we covered Westworld season 4 on Penny Bloom, and we covered What If in spurts, and Wes Anderson's filmography. We are big fans of Jeffrey Wright.
Yeah, he's I don't know. Glad to know that hopefully he's here to stay. You know, I guess in Dark Knight we had a little scare that Gordon was dead, but no, kept him alive. You know, so I hope he feels. The other commissioners, they're not really safe. But he's not commissioner yet, so he's still got a ways to go. Hopefully, I'm hoping he's just in all 3 movies. If we are getting a trilogy here, and he's, I don't know, he's just.
And this is a little something I would have liked. There were things that I love the Penguin for what it is, but there are things I wish it would have given us a little bit of. This question right here, where Jeffrey Wright's like, why would he do this? Why would why would Pete do this? He was my former partner. He's the commissioner now. Why would he push drops? Like this guy, why would he push drops? Why would he be cutting a deal with the people who push drops? What do they have over him? What blackmail? What are they doing to make him work for them? I don't feel like we get enough of that in the underworld side of things. So, and so that's one of those things that we talked about plenty in the finale episode of The Penguin for Death by Television. But my beefs with The Penguin are less about what it did do and more what it didn't do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
which aren't fair criticisms. It's just something I would have liked.
The tough nature of just being an in-universe show or movie is that you just you have to kind of have some questions be answered or ask some new ones and set some interesting things ago. I don't know. It's just it's a lot different than just setting out to make just any given movie where you can just start from fresh. But yeah, I don't know. It'd be nice to know what the bat was like. What was he doing that whole time? Like we got like nothing to really answer that, and like we thought like maybe we'd see him like jump across a building or like to see the visual. I never really like expected that fully at all.
I never expected
it would be
Pattinson,
really awesome, but like no, it's not going to happen. But like some mention or some
just something,
anything.
just a little, morsel, a little morsel, a tasty morsel. This might be one of the most beautiful looking and beautiful sounding sequences and beautiful acted sequences in the entire movie. This scene right here where he gets up in her face and he's like, look at me. Again, the sexual tension is just absurd.
Yep.
They've got an intense amount going on. And we're going to, the lighting is beautiful. We're going to pull back here in a second as the train whizzes by and the sound design is going to swell to this huge roar, and it roars into the club music going, and it's just so fucking clean.
That transition is so good.
Yeah, it's so good right here. Beautiful shot. That's the volume. That's the volume, and then it goes right into that. Gorgeous. Magnificent filmmaking.
I mean, it's like. I don't know. And then you get like to bring it back to Star Wars. You have the literal transitions that are like a PowerPoint, like that you can make in PowerPoint.
Right.
But like I don't
know.
Those
have their place. Those have their
place. But they work.
We
say why we love them so much over there. But But here it feels like I'm hating on it, but no, it's completely different movies here. But man,
No, different vibes entirely.
Yeah.
It would feel wrong if this movie tried to do something like that, you know?
Man, this walk.
And even then, I'm thinking about what some of those transitions would look like, and I don't think it would be that bad, you know? Like, there's a reason it's the basic format, you know? Like, it works. But
oh man, yeah, this.
that fuck is the one who arrested Sophia, by the way.
Yup. What? Man, I don't know. I'm thinking just so big and just too much Court of Owls shit. But it's like maybe that's the reason that we don't have the details of how the mayor and all of these people are being manipulated in the way. Like maybe it is higher up than what we're seeing, and it's like Mitchell, whenever he's about to die and he's about to blow up, you know, it's like it's so much bigger than you can ever imagine. Like it's just
Right.
you know, blah blah blah, and maybe that's just like of how much outreach the crime families have, but it could be maybe he's describing like it, you know, he knows the crime world exists, like he's Batman,
right?
You know, so like is he saying that it is going up another level because of that? I don't know, but it feels like that would be. It's an easy explanation for a lot of things. Like, yeah, how are these people all manipulated in a way that they would do these things? It's like, well, if there's a court of owls that says I'll kill your whole family if you don't do this, okay,
Right,
there you go.
right.
But it's like it's also just very much more likely that they're probably not there, and that it's just crime families and Gotham. But
Right.
But you know, if they want to rope in like a Ra's al Ghul or something, like Ra's was gonna destroy Gotham. I don't know, like that was his grand plan at the end,
right?
And to just turn it into chaos and build anew. So like I feel like I don't know how big of like of an impact they're trying to go with their villains, you know, and the Riddler. I mean, I guess just caused quite the mass murder day. I don't know, just like a mass murder event, and that is pretty large, man. I guess. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know how you really get much larger than that, I guess.
No, yeah, that's the thing, is that in the context of superhero movies, we've kind of grown used to world-ending threats, you know, and it's important to recall that taking any life is villainous, you know, like is cause to, you know, maybe call in a superhero, which I think this movie does ground us in a little bit. And even what the Riddler does is larger than we could really fathom, you know. Obviously he calls his followers to do something we're not unfamiliar with, which is tragic. But I think it's what makes this movie all the more resonant, is that it manages to ground itself in a reality we're familiar with while still elevating it to the level of Batman's story should be at. And I think that's really strong. But this is an underrated performance. Peter Sarsgaard as Gil Coulson. I've talked about drunk acting before. Now, what he's doing is portraying a high on a drug we are completely unfamiliar with the effects of. This whole rubbing the face, and, you know, this Riddler, man, he knows so much. You know, like he almost sounds like Shaggy. I don't know. Yeah. I dig whatever the fuck he's got going on.
Yeah, because he's not quite drunk, and he's not quite high.
Yeah, it's a secret third thing.
Yeah, man. Wow. Maybe they did invent a new drug. And he is
on they had him take it.
But no,
there you go.
That's just the acting chops, I guess, coming out there. Yeah, the rubs of the face,
underrated performance.
Wow, like very consistent with it all too, man.
And then later on, you know, the thing about his performance later on when the bomb's strapped to his neck is it's so natural you forget there's not actually a bomb strapped to his fucking neck. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just a guy acting, and that's really, really cool.
Like this psycho's gonna kill me.
The movie's so immersive, you forget that it's not. I mean, like, that's the point of a movie, in part, is to forget it's not actually happening. But damn, is it good in that regard. And we get the introduction here of what is probably my favorite performance of the movie, John Turturro as Carmine Falcone.
Okay.
The most underrated Batman villain performance of all time.
Okay.
You know, we can talk... We can talk Harvey Dent in The Dark Knight all day long, you know. That performance is incredible, but it's become so known for being underrated, it's no longer underrated. You know what I'm saying?
Let's do the same thing. Let's do.
Yep, let's do the same thing for John Turturro here, because we've never gotten Carmine Falcone done the proper justice. You know, we had a brief Falcone in Batman Begins. You know, we had a brief Maroni in the Dark Knight trilogy. None of them hold a candle to the mob boss that we're getting presented with here. And I think it's so damn good.
Man, maybe that is just the strength of this movie, is that every character is thought about. Every character has depth, and that back then, I don't know, maybe in Nolan's trilogy, like Maroni simply just didn't need to have depth because he just needed to sit in one meeting and then get thrown off a balcony, and that was and then get arrested, you know, or whatever. That's it. He's just there for the shots, and there's no real conversations had between them. But
I will say, when it comes to Nolan's trilogy, one thing that you can say about his movie that you might be able to hold above this one is that people feel much more fulfilled by his portrayal of Bruce and his portrayal of Batman. You know, those interactions with Maroni develop Bruce. They don't develop Maroni. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter what it does for Maroni because he's not going to be around for much longer. That's just that, you know? So like this has its eggs in a lot more baskets. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just a lot of different characters that we feel the need to get to know a little bit. And ultimately, you know, does Bruce suffer a little bit for that? I would say a little. Yes. I'm ultimately very forgiving of this portrayal of Bruce Wayne because the portrayal of Batman himself is so fucking cool. And, you know, there's very, very, you know, it's light what we get with Bruce. You know, we get those couple scenes with Alfred. We get the funeral sequence, and that's pretty much fucking it. But those are important scenes. Some of the most impressive scenes in the movie, really. The funeral and then, you know, visiting Alfred in his hospital room, you know, and I think Robert Pattinson's performance of Bruce is really underrated too.
I think there may be a difference between how Bruce actually sees himself, like between the two. Like, this Bruce is Batman still. Like, the mask is actually him. Like, that's his real identity. And I would hope that the next movie is he has to put on the face of Bruce Wayne and become that playboy, you know, but it's not.
And become Bruce, you know, find himself. He doesn't know who he is. You know, he is Batman right now. You know, like that. He's a recluse when he's Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne doesn't exist to the public.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and that's the thing too, is that he doesn't have his Katie Holmes or his Maggie Gyllenhaal, Rachel. He doesn't have his Rachel Dawes. You know, Selena Kyle is that a little bit, but she's Catwoman, you know, she's not, she's also got a little bit of that thing going on.
Yeah. Batman's supposed to fall in love with the not so, I don't know, it's usually not the best put together girl. I don't because I don't know, that's the pair. He's not the best put together man, you know, he's fucked up.
And that's what makes sense for that Bruce in the Dark Knight trilogy, is that character. You know, this Bruce doesn't have that yet. And I don't think he ever will. I think that this Bruce is the one who's going to constantly get himself into toxic relationships. But that's good. You know, like I want that. That's what Bruce does.
Man, I don't know. Christian Bale's Bruce never really felt troubled. Like when he was Bruce Wayne, he was only like tired because he was Batman. But he could just Bruce was, I don't know, he was just a rich,
and that's what I'm going, like, the most trouble he ever felt was before he became Batman.
Yeah.
You know, like, Batman brought him peace almost.
Yeah.
You know, like, and then Katie Holmes confronts him in The Batman Begins and is like, you know, your dad would be so disappointed in you, you know, with it whenever he got the gun and he was thinking about killing him and stuff. And he's like, oh shit, you're right. I need to become something else. And that's when he becomes Batman. That's when he finds his peace. And then the next time we see him go through like true struggle as Bruce is when Rachel dies. At least off the top of my head. I might be underselling that pretty terribly, but
I think you're
that's
right.
kind of how I recall it.
Yeah. Like that's it.
And then Dark Knight Rises is pretty much nothing but Bruce going through shit. But
yeah.
neither here nor there.
Climbing out of that prison. I guess that's just
Yeah.
something to go
And
through.
then deciding he's going to live his life as him. Like,
But it's not really the struggle him being He never struggles with him being Batman or him being
mhm,
like kind of two different people. He switches between them effortlessly. Like it.
that's true.
So in this one, it's like a point of the story that like no, that mask is actually like your real face. Like this, like or maybe Bruce doesn't actually think that way, but I mean it as of right now, like his whole personality, his whole actual person is Batman. He lives to
I
be
would,
Batman.
and we're in the middle of a scene where I would say that that's absolutely how he feels.
Mm-hmm.
Alfred comes downstairs and he's like, "Oh, are we getting a public appearance today?" And he's like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "From Bruce Wayne. Is Bruce Wayne going to make an appearance today?" He's like, "Well,
Yeah.
serial killers love to follow their crimes, so obviously I'm going to be there." Like he's still being Batman. He is Batman going undercover as Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, and he does.
That is what he's about to do.
Maybe it is very literal too, because like Christian Bale obviously changes his voice when he's in costume and whenever he's just Bruce Wayne. So like, but he's still talking in his Batman voice whenever to the people who know, like to Alfred, he like still kind of talks in his just normal Batman voice, and like it's just
There is one scene where Bruce Wayne actually talks in this, and I cannot wait to get to it. It's one of the best acted moments by Robert Pattinson in the entire movie. Well, a couple of them. Obviously, whenever he's sitting next to Alfred in the hospital bed.
okay, yeah.
That is when Bruce is like, but that whole sequence, that's a really good point. I've never really paid attention to the fact that he is talking like Batman there.
Oh my god! When he lets his guard down, it's like the only. Oh my god! Oh, it's just the voice. Yeah, this voice. You know what? I was debating on which voice was better. It's unquestionable. The voice just has layers to it. Actually, there's a point to like what voice he's using, and that's oh man, yeah.
Well, I think there's something cool about this portrayal too, where I think part of the point is that this Bruce has kind of forgotten himself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like he doesn't know who Bruce is.
2 years.
He's not even really acting like anything. He's not really acting like anybody. He's just being a guy. And he's clearly uncomfortable with himself. He's just kind of standing there. He looks around and he can't help but enter Batman mode. There's a wonderful behind the scenes story where there was pictures, set leaks that came from this where
That's right.
Zoe Kravitz was dressed in this woman's outfit. So they build up this moment where you go, "Oh shit, is that Zoe Kravitz? Is that Zoe Kravitz?" Yes, it is. I saw the set leaks, and then they reveal that it's not Zoe Kravitz, and that's great stuff, man.
That's the
I
ultimate.
love
That's
it.
like the way better version of Marvel just lying in a trailer, and like actually just straight up removing the Infinity Stones out of the gauntlet or something, like a literal lie that just is like, oh no shit,
Yeah.
that's a meta. I don't know. That's more of a meta. Like
That's great stuff. Just
bait and
knowing
switch.
that it's going to go that way. Well, and she's the chick that we saw in the club.
Yeah, like what are you crazy? You got a death wish? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So
And this is one of those scenes that just makes John Turturro's performance brilliant. He just drips this condescending, holier than thou evil, and it's so good. Whenever Bruce delivers the Hippocratic Oath, and he goes, "Ha!" Like he can't hold himself back. He's like, that's good. He is so goddamn good as Carmine Falcone.
Man, yeah, you're right. Like I've watched the movie a whole lot of times, and I've never actually appreciated his performance like I should. I don't know. I've just there's so much else going on. I guess it's tough to just pick out. I mean, it seems that every single area you go in, though, it is just like a gold mine.
You could dive in,
Man, God,
that it's so he couldn't let Bruce get away without him letting him know how he felt about that conversation. Like that was a fucking joke to me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so good. It's so good.
Is that it? No, he's not standing there yet, or was he there? Because if
he might have been,
if he's there already, I don't know. I don't know if this helps the case of him actually knowing it's Bruce or not, because he needs to be there probably regardless, just to know that Mitchell did go there.
That's true.
So, but I don't know. I've heard the the thought, or like he joins a FaceTime call, and he was at the opera. So like where how did he go from the opera house to whatever? But like it clearly
Yeah.
goes from like daytime to
Day to
nighttime.
night.
So like
Yeah.
if he couldn't get back to his
Yeah,
apartment by
plenty of
then,
time to
yeah, or
leave.
whatever. So, but like I
Well, and
always
that's also Joe Cool right there. We haven't talked about that.
mm,
That's the man who murdered Bruce Wayne's
yeah.
parents.
Yeah, I think you just got this one spot on. I don't yeah, this
Yeah,
one.
I felt very confident about that for 2 whole years now,
Mhm.
2.5 years now.
Yeah, that's
Sorry, but no, I'm with you. This is one of those moments, and I think what's really, really important to consider is that if, and I'm not super confident, if the Riddler does know Bruce Wayne is Batman, he figures it out over the course of this movie.
Ooh.
I do not think he has any reason to believe that's the case right now. Whenever he looks up and sees the Riddler, you have to consider that the Riddler has a whole other obsession with Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne is one of the people he intends on killing. Like that is just another fact of what he has planned.
Mm-hmm.
The sins of the father will be bestowed onto the son. If he does know that Bruce Wayne is Batman, it is as a result of that hit being failed. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I wonder if the last card that's given, every card had a riddle in it. Well, no, this one's
And that
actually
one's
just
just
pick
see
up
you in
the
hell.
phone. I guess this one, there's not
That's
really
true.
a riddle, but
Well, there's a rhyme thing that he does, I'm pretty sure.
true.
See, he spots him, and we don't really know if he's looking at him. He's just up there.
Yeah. Oh man, dude, I don't know. It's just I think I just want to believe that he does know who he is, because I would love the Riddler to be the suit, like that's all that he has. Like that he cranked out every fucking detail. He's an accountant,
Right.
like that's what he did. And like I feel like he's just an accountant on steroids. He takes every detail down. And like the whole orphan thing, there's just a little too much like that's leading me in that direction. But the like him being here, I don't think really adds to that argument a whole lot.
No, there's nothing about this scene that adds to the idea he knows who Bruce Wayne is.
Yeah. Yeah, the little stare, maybe. I don't know. That little singled out while he stayed there, if he is directly looking at
If they
Bruce,
had done something to indicate he was looking back at him, maybe. But they do a really express job to show he doesn't. They don't show his face. We just know that that's him. He's a silhouette, like he was at the beginning of the movie. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just the Riddler right now.
I guess back to that sea and hell card. If that was like, I like this idea that he does figure it out in between, like not that it wasn't before, but it's like through these events he's like, oh yeah, it has to be Bruce Wayne, like this. He's if he is an accountant, this is, I don't know, it would be a nice backup plan.
And that's where I'm like, if it still doesn't make sense even as he's trying to kill Bruce Wayne. Like, it would literally have to be after he tries to kill Bruce Wayne. Like, because he did leave that note for the Batman. He left that note for the Batman, even though he was trying to kill Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, and he does.
If he does successfully kill Bruce Wayne, Batman doesn't show up to see him in hell. You know what I'm saying?
See you in hell either way, and
either way, I'm probably gonna die. I'm probably not gonna make it out of the scenario. Like there is there's a little bit there, but
and the walk up, just the slow.
Oh, great! Always a great moment. Yeah. Always a great moment.
And every cop like, oh, what the fuck is this dude doing?
What the hell is he doing, Gordon?
Yeah. It could be too looking into it, but like, does he truly know that Bruce is gonna open his mail? Like Bruce, he knows he's a billionaire. Does Bruce Wayne open his mail? Like, no, I don't know. Like, is the message just has to be like, maybe he did he know that? Like the package does say for Bruce Wayne's eyes only, or I don't know. Maybe is that a surefire way that he knows for a fact that Bruce is gonna open his mail? And that's, I feel like I'm coping a little bit with this reason, but and just trying to grasp for straws, but I don't know. I feel like that is kind of what you would, if you're going, that's your way of killing Bruce Wayne is just through the mail versus everyone else. He killed Mitchell by strapping a bomb to his chest. He killed the mayor by literally bludgeoning him to death. And then the commissioner by actually strapping the rat to him too. Like he was there for everybody. And then just to kill the most important, the last, you know, the sins of the father.
The one that he is incapable of accessing, you know, like
Ooh, okay,
like he is the recluse. He is the least accessible one, and you know, you would think maybe the mayor would be too, but he got in through the skylight with the mayor. Is he going to be able to do that to Wayne Tower?
How the
you know, it's the tallest building in the ceiling. He got the commissioner in the gym. You know, he stays after hours. He goes to the gym. That's what he does. He got this guy outside the club. Like, he managed to get them where they were the least protected. You know, so like if he doesn't know where he's going to find Bruce Wayne, there's nowhere for him to go besides sending him a fucking pipe bomb in the mail.
Maybe that's how he knows he's Batman. Is that
exactly? Maybe that's how he figures it out.
He's like, oh, I need to find a way to kill Bruce Wayne, and he's like, he's never fucking home. Where the hell is he? And he's like, oh, it's like,
oh, yeah, exactly.
I don't know, like maybe but it's just that it is the Paul Dano's performance at the end. You know, it is the
it's very ambiguous and purposefully so. You know, like they do make it that gray area so we can have conversations like this.
I guess.
And Paul Dano is
that's
good,
what I was gonna say. We should bring up Paul Dano because in the theater, this is my first Paul Dano movie, I think. Or I didn't really know what Paul Dano looked like going into this movie at all. I had no idea his face.
Right.
And I swear to God, I thought that he was like in this mask, the portrayal he's giving right now, I thought that he looked so different. I thought that he would be like a middle-aged man, or way older than he is right now for whatever reason. And then when he took
he's got that nerdish, boyish
man
sort of look to him.
Just
it's
a perfect unmasking. Like it took me, like I was like kind of like Kylo Ren. I don't know. Like I think it just works so well to have him, I don't know, just look kind of hot and like it just kind of like you expect like a monster or whatever under there, and it's like, oh no,
and he's just a normal looking dude.
And here, like it's
he's not scarred, he's not deformed. You know, there's no reason for him to be wearing a mask. You know, like when it came, you know, to go to the Force Awakens and the unmasking of Darth Vader or unmasking Kylo Ren, you know, you realize when Darth Vader gets his mask off, it's because he's scarred, it's because he's deformed. Kylo just does that because, you know, it's hiding his true face. You know, it's hiding his true face. He's trying to become someone else, which is what the Riddler is doing. You know, he says, "This is my true face." You know, I wish you could see me in my mask. You know, like, gosh, my mask is glorious. That's that's him. You know, that's what he thinks of himself. And you know, the Riddler Year One comic. I know I gave you the first issue. I don't know if you've read any more of it, but the fact that he idolizes Batman is really, really important, you know, and they come to that conclusion in this movie too, you know, whenever he's like, you know, we did it together, me and you, you know, good job. We did this, you know, it's part of what motivates Bruce to realize, holy shit, not only am I not helping, I'm actively hurting, you know, I'm inspiring the wrong people. I'm not inspiring hope. I'm inspiring violence. I'm inspiring these people to take action into their own hands when they shouldn't be doing that. They need to have faith in me. They don't need to be inspired by me and take it into their own hands. Kind of similar to what happens in The Dark Knight. Whenever
the boats,
you know,
at
those
the
guys,
end?
I'm not wearing hockey pads. You know,
nice.
that thing specifically. But yes, also the boats at the end. Good job. I hadn't considered that.
At the good level of that, you know, the good side of like when it is in the people's hands, you know, the good thing actually does happen, and
inspiring hope in them versus yes 100%. That's where this Bruce wants to get, and he's not there yet. He's in a way kind of inspiring the Joker in a sense, you know, a guy who you do not know, you cannot gather, you cannot read, and he just is, you know, he just causes chaos. That's what he does. But there's another, obviously, one of my favorite scenes in the entirety of this movie. Probably one of the funniest scenes in the movie, even though it's not particularly played for laughs. Just this whole the entire energy of this scene, the chaos of the police department, all kind of being voiceless and just kind of being this screaming, yelling entity where they're like, ah, 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 ah. I love it. It's so funny.
Yeah. And then Captain whoever.
Was he
I
you?
still don't know his name, but man.
I know the last one was Savage, Pete Savage. I want to say this guy's name starts with an F.
Fitzgerald. No, I have no idea.
And I don't know if I'm getting it confused with like the actual Batman character, Flass or
That does sound a little familiar.
Great.
Actually,
You got me on Assaulting 3. Yeah, God, that's so cold. You too, Jim.
Hey, yeah, and the only one who could step up to him, this is the only one who can
You too
actually
now.
put him down.
And I love the way that he actually sounded hurt by that. You too now. Like come on,
man. Yeah, this
Mackenzie.
Okay, there it is, Mackenzie. Is that? That's not the
Chief Mackenzie Bach.
Okay. Oh, that's his first name.
Yeah.
Wow. Is the guy who Batman threw the bat at and broke his nose? Isn't that Kinsey? Is that Officer Kinsey?
That is also just Officer Kenzie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
yeah.
like, that's
couple Kensies.
Okay.
Couple Kensies.
They're all just the same name.
Listen to me.
That's funny.
Yeah. God, I love Jeffrey Wright. God, he's so good. We gotta get you out of here.
It's so perfect.
He's so fucking good, man. You punched me in the face. He's just so fucking good, man. Everything he does in his portrayal, and specifically this scene, I love the way that he knows he needs to seem like he is getting mad at him, but he's actually helping. And again, visually, him stepping into the light and the Kenzie there at the end of the hall being the only one who's lit up. They'll cut back to him here in a second, I'm pretty sure, when he's like, what's going on here? Maybe I'm mistaken, but he's the only one who's lit. Everyone else is like a silhouette. Sandy Moonlights is a cop. Right there.
Yeah.
Everyone else is shadowed face.
Wow.
Like that's so meticulous. It's so good. And this is the part that's so fucking funny. They can't get the door open. They're chasing him through the halls. They're running through random doors. It reminds me of like a silent film skit. They're shooting their fucking guns in the air. Like it's just so ridiculous.
Hey, I mean, I have been watching this movie on mute the whole time, and like shit, like even without the incredible soundtrack of it, like I mean, visually it does just still stand up. Like that part still gives me the laughs there. And like, yeah, I like to think, I don't know, I never noticed how shadow-faced they are and how like ambiguous. I don't know, it is just they are this is one big mass.
They're faceless, You've got the few that have faces because they're characters, and you got Martinez, you got Gordon, you got Bach, you got Kenzie. But beyond that, they're just cops, and I think that's really cool.
Man, like anyone with a name really has something. And if they don't have a name, it's like they are just an ambiguous police force. Wow. Yeah, that's rough. I mean, yeah, you got to imagine that's his first flight because he looked kind of nervous.
Oh, yeah, he's never done that. He has never done that.
Supposed to have no fear, but I mean, how do you, come on, even if you're Batman, you are going to fucking.
And I love that he just has to walk down this alley now.
Just, I definitely.
Fucking shit. And it's like the suit. The flight suit was his cape, so like now he's got another cape, which is dope.
Man, is it actually noticeably different?
Should have pulled that pot.
Like,
or
is it just?
I don't know if it's actually. I think it's a replica cape, but
okay. I didn't know if when he changes flight suits, if like the cape actually changes a little bit, or like if
I don't know. That's a good question. The collar definitely didn't change. It's the same one, but
okay. But man, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Christian Bale's like, it was tech, it was really thin and like it looked good, but like the way it flew was like, oh, okay. Yeah. Just, it can be strong and he can fly. But this, I don't know. It was like, they were trying to just go uber realistic with it here. Like there's no kind of crazy tech that he can have to fly quite yet. And I don't know. I think it's just a perfect way to, just show that he's not quite fully there, I don't know. He's I hope he gets a belt, you know. I think that was I saw one change to make to the bat suit, and is just get a gold belt on there with some more cool gadgets that we can see. Because I mean, but the suit's already pretty practical. Like we saw, like the logo. I don't know how that's a gripe of the bat. You know, the logo being a knife.
Yeah,
as well.
no, I mean the guy. I mean, and it should be noted that most of the people you see complain about this movie are Snyder people.
Okay.
You know,
I see.
It's, you know, Pattinson got his movie before Affleck did, and all that good stuff, and they're irrational beyond imagination.
God, that's true. Oh my, that's the first time I've ever heard that. That's actually hilarious. That
Affleck never got a solo Batman movie. His only movie where he was the focus was also a Superman movie.
Oh man, that's kind of sad.
Well, and it's important to note, you know, like because of that, Henry Cavill never got more than one Superman movie. You know what I'm saying? Like it's it's crazy to consider that the DCEU as a whole was just such a disaster. I mean, Aquaman got a couple movies. Shazam got a couple movies. You're telling me Batman and Superman can't get a couple movies? What the fuck?
Yeah, wait, the main dogs?
But yeah, I don't know, dog. But regardless,
things just got interesting or complicated. Whatever.
Yeah. No, they got interesting, buddy. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
It's just got complicated.
What do you mean? Man, I don't know. These poor twins. I don't like they just
get their shit rocked all movie. One of them straight up took a fucking grappling hook through their leg.
Bro had to have an
earlier.
operation. Bro had to have. I mean, is that just stitches? Is that it? Or I mean, I feel like there's some serious.
I mean, he had to have torn through a tendon or a bone there or something. Like he at least repaired a meniscus. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh, yeah. And then back to it, just back to the ground, knocked out. I mean, man, not doing too hot this movie, but yeah.
Annika, it's the rough one.
And
this scene in the fucking theater, bro, the sound design. Hey, vengeance! This is probably Colin Farrell's best moment in the entire movie. Whenever you imitated the soundtrack there. Exactly. That moment, whenever the music kicks in like that, and he cocks his gun and he walks around the corner.
Yup.
Oh!
Yup.
God damn, that's the shit. Right here. Right here.
And that's, I guess that goes, like, I usually am not one to pick up the sounds of a movie. But yeah, this, I mean, it's impossible not to hear this moment. Like, I don't know. The sound is so important to it. Even though I'm watching on silent, it is.
You think you could come after my money, huh?
God.
Yeah, he's so good, man. I love, like, that's why not going with Colin Farrell, like, just kind of guts me. Like, he is, when it comes to transforming, there's no actor in this movie who is doing quite as much a performance as Colin Farrell is doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think it was him that did say this, that like having all that makeup and going through the literal transformation, like, kind of helped him get into character. And I believe it. Yeah, and like, I mean, you look in the mirror and you're like, you're literally a different person. I mean,
that's not me.
And God, this Batmobile, I don't know. The Batmobile couldn't have been used more perfectly. I don't think. It's just, it's so good. And this chase, maybe if I have one gripe, it is this chase scene. It is a little dark and a little hard to just kind of see what's going on at times. Like when they get further down the road, I feel like this part has all been fine, and there's zero things. I don't know what I'm wanting in the chase scene more. Like, the end moment is one of my favorites in the movie, and that's my shot. You know, will come up here when he walking.
Yeah,
in the
him
fire.
walking through.
And the fucking sheriff cowboy. I don't know, just old western ass. Everything's just popping there. But here, like the chaotic moments, like I feel like it might be specifically the side camera of the cars. Like whenever the camera is like. I guess, no, I don't know. I do like that. That does look fucking sick as shit, the Batmobile there. But I think it's just a little, I don't know, tight or...
I might agree that it's a little... I might agree that it's also a little long. I think it's kind of cool. I think it's a great sequence. Don't get me wrong. I do think this is a badass sequence. I think it builds up Bruce's ability. about as well as any scene in this movie, but I think they were just kind of letting themselves breathe a little bit. If there is a part of this 2 hour and 56-minute movie that could have been shaved a little bit, it was probably this, 6-minute chase sequence? Like, it's a lot. It is a lot.
Yeah.
And they're showing off the capabilities of the Batmobile too, but even so, like, I don't know.
I feel like just in like that, I'll give Nolan that, like a chase sequence in The Dark Knight, or like the truck flipping over, anything with cars or vehicles, or like the buses leaving the bank. I don't know. Like I feel like he goes wide. I feel like he shows the full scene of what's going on.
Okay, yes, I can appreciate what you're saying here. There's a little bit of a forced perspective thing going on, and I don't mean that in the literal camera sense. There's a method called forced perspective, but they're forcing you into this perspective is more what I'm saying. Yeah, I do agree with that. There is definitely a little bit of a claustrophobia going on here, and I don't know, maybe they're definitely using it to their advantage at points, but like moments like that where they show the car in its full glory speeding down the road like this, a little more of that could be nice. I agree with you. I do agree with you there. I've never really, because I agree, if there is a part of this movie that I would go, maybe we could do something a little different here, it is this sequence.
A car chase scene is, I mean, they're also doing it through a fake city that doesn't exist, but we're also just on an open highway here, it seems. Where, like, you don't really, I don't know, you don't need to really pay attention to, like, it looking like Gotham. It's just a highway. Like,
right.
And it would have been really cool to, I don't know, maybe have a very wide shot of the skyline, and like there,
so,
like
that's cool.
Yeah, like I don't know, like
that's cool.
Okay, yeah, I can't complain about the Batmobile shots. All look pretty damn good. Like, I mean, the car looks sick. But I don't know. I kind of want like a helicopter tracking shot. Is like kind of what I'm wanting through this. Like they're on a straight highway. It feels.
Give me a little bit more of a sense of surrounding here. Yes, I get. Yeah, there's a sense of environment because I know it's rainy. I know it's like there's just. I do agree. I don't know. I'm not the filmmaker. I don't know exactly what I'm looking for, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and it could be that they're trying to go for like this is just a very intimate moment between the Penguin and the Batman. Like we're showing their experiences and not like we're in a police helicopter chasing them, because there isn't a police helicopter chasing them.
That's true. That's true.
In The Dark Knight, there were those police helicopters.
Oh, God, this is so fucking cool, though.
I mean, come on.
I remember when I showed this to my dad. This part right here. I'm gonna imitate exactly what happened. That was the only noise that exited my dad whenever this sequence happened. He was so locked in, and then his car comes through the flames, and he goes. I was like, exactly right.
Even with maybe a little gripe of a chase sequence, it ends with an
it's still
absolute
so good.
banger.
It's still so good.
I mean, I mean, how can you get cooler than an upside down fucking flaming background, bat walking out? I mean, I don't know. It's the music is the strum of the guitar. I don't know.
Oh man, it's beautiful.
It's more of the moment, I guess,
God, it's gorgeous. I fucking love it, man. And the makeup on Farrell holding up even when he's upside down and everything, it's so good. It's so good.
Man.
Now, this is not for the listener. This is for me and you. I have to pee so fucking bad. I'm going to pause. I'm going to do a countdown. The listener will not have to pause. Me and you will have to pause. I'm going to do a 3, 2, 1, pause it. And on pause it, we'll pause. So, are you ready?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, pause it. All right. So, for the listener, you should not have experienced any pause whatsoever. We are in the scene with Jim Gordon and Batman holding up the Penguin against a wall here. So, hopefully you didn't pause, because that'd have been some bozo shit. But I understand if you did, I did count down a pause. But regardless, whatever. I'm not judging you. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't know, the drinking peas. Once
I'm two tall boys deep. I'm on my third drink, which is like a fifth can, which is plenty.
Yeah,
which is plenty.
Yeah, the bladder is only so big. Yeah, before
Frankly, I'm impressed that we made it halfway through the movie. I didn't think I was
honestly,
going to be able to do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I hope you weren't really holding it in for a while and stressing.
No,
out
I
at the
wasn't.
end.
I'd been plotting. I knew when the time was going to come.
Mm-hmm. But man, yeah, no, this I don't know. This scene, I feel like it's one of the ones to point to of like just the comedy that Colin Farrell brings to the table. Like it's just...
and Jim Gordon.
Yeah?
Open your eyes. Like that's so good. That's so good. There's another moment. There's a line delivery that actually gave me a hit tweet recently. One of my last hit tweet before I evaded Twitter for Blue Sky. Mm-hmm. Whenever I pointed out that Jeffrey Wright is so fucking funny as Jim Gordon. Whenever he goes, do me a favor, shithead, shut up. It's so fucking funny.
Oh man, yeah, you're right. I don't know. I guess I kind of didn't really. I've only looked at Colin Farrell as like the comedic
world's
value
greatest
here,
detectives. Yeah.
Can't tell the difference between Ellen Law. Man, it's just the voice.
Do me a favor, shithead, shut up. I don't know why that delivery is so fucking funny to me. Maybe it is literally just the writing, but it is so funny.
I don't know. It feels like we have drophead as an insult, and then just shithead. I don't know. It's like it feels like kind of an in-universe. I don't know, some weirder kind of slang. But man, yeah, I'm
like shithead. I mean, that's a real thing. People say shithead, but that is still obscure. Like that's still very, very. That's very specific to Jim Gordon. Like Jim Gordon would call people shithead. Like that's good stuff right there.
Man, yeah, kind of.
Holy shit.
Is it is it just the movie's way of trying to say that Alfred and Bruce are the whitest people in the world and cannot tell the difference between Elle and Law? And then the first time that anyone of just, I don't know, I guess.
Well, it's also cool that in the context of the TV show, we learned that Oz can speak Spanish. Oz does speak Spanish. Like that's not just something he's like, true. I know the difference between Elle and La. Like, obviously, that's Spanish 1, which it is. It is Spanish 1. Yeah. That's shit you learn in 8th grade. Yeah. But regardless, even Alfred a little bit ago was like, his Spanish isn't perfect, but he says...
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Like, he points it out like, maybe the Riddler's fucking stupid,
Okay. Yeah, but that's the only mistake, though. Like that's
it's
kind
not
of
a mistake either, That's I grew up and Jeffrey Wright being able to say all the riddles is just even better. Mm-hmm. I never know where I come from. Do you know what I am?
I mean, have him narrate everything. He is the next Morgan Freeman. I don't know. Like it's sad to think of the day. I don't want to think about it.
No, we won't even think about it.
Yeah, but like we have Jeffrey Wright, so it's okay. Like it will continue. The voice has just been passed down. I don't know. It's just it feels like the torch has been passed. And not already. I don't know. I shouldn't be saying that because Morgan Freeman is still here,
still working. Yeah,
still going. But man, it just feels. It feels natural that Jeffrey Wright is just gonna be as many what if seasons. I don't know, but it feels like he's just.
We got a third one coming up soon in like a month.
Damn, really?
Yeah, they announced that recently. That December is going to bring us the third season of What If. I'm pretty sure.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, Oh, I mean that has to.
Well, and it's nice to know that he can just do that ad infinitum. Like as long as they want him to be the watcher, he can be the fucking watcher. Yeah, man, that's your thing. I love Jeffrey Wright, man. I know I've said that probably 15 fucking times during this live com, but I'm in the I love you state right now, 5 deep, and I love him. I love him more than anything. That's my man's right there. I also appreciate that the Riddler took the time to like spray paint arrows all over the place. He was like, "This way, you're going the right way."
Mm-hmm. I mean, so. Is this is also pretty telling to me, at least. Why put the Batman through an orphanage? Why make him go to an orphanage and have him experience like Bruce Wayne's life? Like why?
Well,
I feel like
he doesn't experience Bruce Wayne's life though. Bruce Wayne didn't grow up in an orphanage.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So yeah, I mean, he's like, "Here you go, Bruce. Like, finally, you can see
this
it."
This is what it would have been. I mean,
I don't know. I feel like it worked either way. Like, why is it?
No, it does. It does work that way either way because this is the orphanage that he grew up in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, see what your life could have been if you weren't privileged. But it's
Mm-hmm.
also like, I'm going to kill this guy because he didn't go through this. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's, again, I'm 100% with you. There is an either or thing going on, which is why I will never expressly tell you you're wrong. I'm confident that he doesn't know. And it's not, and I think it's subjective for a reason. You know, I think they do want you to kind of be ambiguous about it. But
The
I think
computer
no, go ahead, sorry.
answer, I don't know, just what happened just a moment ago, whenever the answer was an orphan, and this the hard cutoff after that, it feels like a little way of like, hey, I know you're an orphan as well. Like this, I know is getting at you. Like this is the riddle. Like he specifically chose a riddle in which the answer was an orphan, and like I don't know. It feels like it's.
But it led him to the orphanage. That's why he did it.
Man.
So no, I get what you're
yeah.
saying. You know, his next victim is Bruce Wayne. But this is the other scene when this is the only time Bruce sounds like this.
Yeah.
This is Robert Pattinson's moment right here to make the most of the Bruce Wayne Batman dichotomy. Whenever he gets on the phone with the woman here, and he's like, hey, something bad's about to happen. You know, like, it's the most, pathetic and not pathetic in a bad way, just pathetic, impotent, I will say, you know, like he's unable to do anything about what's going to happen.
Wow.
He's unable to do anything about what's about to happen. Sorry.
Man,
like I said, several deep.
Even his Bruce Wayne voice comes out in suit still. Like, oh man, that's crazy.
It's one of the strongest moments here.
Yeah, like did he know that Bruce was gonna literally open this himself? The detail is it's iffy. It's not one I stand too solidly
thin.
on.
It's thin.
But
but the thing that I like to point out whenever it comes to the Riddler and his motivations. Yeah, right there. Dory, I need to speak to Alfred. You know, like that's just something terrible is going to happen. You know, he just sounds so young. He sounds so small. And I think that that's what I love about it. But regardless, when it comes to the Riddler and his motivations, what he wants to do is take out the rich and powerful as a statement of, you know, his oppression and how he's been pushed down and how he's been made smaller and how they've only lifted themselves up. But whenever he does enact his plan, who does it hurt? You know, we watch in The Penguin that it literally takes out the people he is claiming to identify with. Yeah, that's one of those reasons that I just don't think he's yes, he's smart. He's obviously smart. You don't pull any of this off without being smart, but he's not as savvy as he thinks he is. And, you know, what he's doing is he's finding an excuse to inflict as much damage as he can.
Yeah. I mean, I think maybe it's my dream of, like, the in-game Riddler coming out, or, like, just because that is kind of him taken up to the ultimate level. The dude just has, I mean, he's right when you think you have him figured out, the dude has another fucking slam dunk on you.
Right.
And I feel like it doesn't feel that way totally, and it's me doing a lot of external thinking to put that on this Riddler. But I mean, it's like a point that I forgot to bring up earlier. The Riddler usually doesn't have a mask. Like, and if he has a mask, it's like just his eyes, like, you know, like or like
true,
like he just has like glasses. And I feel like specifically making this Riddler have a mask to mimic Batman, and then to say like one of his points at the end is like that mask is truly you. Like I think this is like all of this, the whole thing. Like he knew like a real change in Gotham, you know, was a literal change in blowing up the seawall, but like the real change that needs to happen is with the Batman, you know, like he's the true one. I don't know, maybe he, you know, we're a team. Like he actually believes in the Batman. Like he needs him to see
100%
or something. So I feel like it's just there's too many overlapping
see, the thing
things.
that I have a tough time with is that I really just believe that when it comes to you know, who he is without the mask versus who he is with the mask, and I'm talking about the Riddler here, is that he doesn't even observe who he is without the mask as a real person. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just always is the Riddler. You know, he gets asked at the end, like, which one's the real you? And it's like Edward Nygma or the other alias. He never answers that because it doesn't fucking matter. He's either one of them. He's neither of them. It doesn't matter. He's the Riddler. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to Bruce Wayne, he expressly hates Bruce Wayne. You know, he does not like Bruce Wayne, and he respects infinitely the Batman. I think that if he learned Bruce Wayne was the Batman, it would ruin things for him. You know, like, I think if he learned that the Batman was Bruce Wayne, he'd kind of be like, oh my God, I've been idolizing Bruce fucking Wayne. You know, like, and
like, wow, maybe the very people
or maybe I
thought
underestimated
evil,
you know,
was
yeah,
like,
exactly.
Shit,
So like,
he's
that's why I'm like, again, it could go either way. That's why I'm never going to tell you you're wrong about this. But just given the characterization we've been presented with him, I tend to sway negative. You know, I sway negative with him. And I think that if he realized that Bruce was Batman, it would foundationally shift the way he felt about what he was doing. Because he doesn't identify with Bruce. He identifies with Batman. He actually thinks Bruce is the antithesis of him. He thinks Bruce is the opposite. He thinks Batman is the same. You know, he thinks Batman's the same while Bruce is completely different. So that's where we have a tough time here. But anywho,
his ultimate goal is to unmask, I guess. That's like he wants, I don't know, does he really want to know who's under the mask, or is that just like, is that his way of saying, I know who's under there, I just need you to take off the mask and be Bruce Wayne, you know, like actually do shit with your money, you know, I don't know, or like I don't know if he is going the other way.
And if we go back down that route, I do end up coming back around to the idea that the very people he claims to want to protect are who he hurts. So like, you know, I view him as kind of a glass castle. You know, like he stands on these entire platitudes. You put one chip in it, the whole thing collapses. You know, like it's not the foundation he claims to be built upon is extremely fragile. But I do want to comment on the fact that this is one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
Come on, the volume here.
Gorgeous sequence.
Their chemistry is just too
it's incredible. And the reveal, obviously, as a comic reader, I knew Selena Kyle was Carmine's daughter, but it's always interesting to know what they're going to do adaptation. So this still did take me as a bit of a surprise. And I love that they decided to go with it, because it's a brilliant layer. It adds a whole dynamic to the conflict. It puts Carmine Falcone at the center of everything, which is, I know, and we've been focusing on the Riddler a lot. Carmine's is to me the more interesting story in this movie, and obviously they are tied together with him talking about renewal and Carmine controlling renewal and all that good stuff, and that's why this is so expertly done. Is that while I'm talking about them like they're two different stories, they are the same story. It's all one story. That's what makes it all so perfect, is that now Bruce is about to come under the impression that Carmine killed his parents, Carmine killed her mom, you know, like everything comes together, and they're the mirror images of each other. Everybody is a different side of the same coin. And I think that that's what's really, really cool, is that they all have similar circumstance and they all went down slightly different paths, you know. Nygma goes down the villainous, she goes down anti-hero, Bruce goes down hero. And I think that that's so fucking cool to present these. And I think that she gets kind of undermined as not really a part of this trichotomy, if you will, but she's a very important piece of the puzzle. You know, she is who, if Bruce was going to become something, he's got three options. He can be the hero who he is and who he decides to be at the end of this movie. He can commit to going with her. You know, let's knock off some rich hedge fund types, like she says at the end of the movie. Or he can go with Nygma, who's like, let's do this thing. You know, we did this together. You know, I love you, man. We're good. You know, like, he's got all these options, and it's the fact that he decides to be the hero that makes him Batman. And I think that that's what's great. That's what's great about Bruce Wayne.
Hmm. Yeah, I was gonna say, oh man, well maybe this was all a show to show Bruce that killing is actually okay in some cases. Like
Mm,
Carmine Falcone deserves to die, and then maybe that this is all to get him to go off the deep end and kind of join him because the Riddler he definitely is insane. Like the dude does not have a stable mind up there,
right.
and I feel like Bruce doesn't really eat. He's not fully stable, but he's not obviously to the Riddler level. And
Right.
but yeah,
I
here.
just want to comment,
Hmm.
sorry, on the fact that Paul Dano has the YouTuber cadence down just impeccably. Like it's what booked him Dumb Money a year later, when he's, Wall Street Bets in Dumb Money. But did the Waynes have the Arkhams murdered? That whole thing. He's so good at it, man. I think that, and I love that the reveal that Martha comes from the Arkhams. She is an
Mm-hmm.
Arkham before she was married into the Waynes, and they're the founding families of Gotham. And
Oh.
when it came to the Penguin, that's a little bit more. We got the Hush thing there, and that's a different Batman villain. Are we getting a few more? We got a few, just a couple of potential small little Easter eggs for what's to come. I don't know. I dig it though.
Okay. I've never thought as I Martha as in Bruce has both of the founding family's blood in him,
Mm-hmm.
and Carmine calls him the Prince of the City. You know,
Yes, yeah.
and I don't know, like that kind of
No,
implies like I don't know, a succession of something greater than him. I don't know
could
what
it be
is
the
he
court?
implying
Could it be
there.
the court? Yeah. It's
I mean, it could just be he's the fucking billionaire of the city. He's the prince. I don't know. It could.
yeah.
It doesn't have to be
Could be as simple as
Yeah.
that.
Does he
Yeah.
say prince of the city, or he doesn't say like
Yes, he
prodigal
does.
or
Yeah.
prodigal?
No,
Like
he
just
says
prince.
Prince.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Huh. I don't know, but I don't know if blood will matter. But maybe like not in a literal ritual sense, but like just to the court, if they exist, the blood would matter to them in a ritual sense. Like, and like I don't know. I wonder how like mystical they would. I don't feel like they're gonna go down that route at all. Where like there's gonna be like a Ra's al Ghul or I don't know like a. But I mean it is Batman, so I mean
I'm
they.
sorry. I just think it's so funny that the conversation Carmine, Oz, and Briscoe apparently are having
Mhm.
is complete fucking nonsense. It's so funny. And Oz calling Bruce Johnny Slick and
Mhm.
stuff. That's funny. I
Johnny
don't
Slick.
like it's Johnny Slick. What's up, man? It's so funny. Like when he's coming in, Carmine's asking Briscoe. He goes, Briscoe, why communism failed? And he goes, why? He goes, austerity. And they all just laugh, and that's it. Like it's it. He goes, how much the sweater costs? $1,183. Like.
Whoa.
What are you even talking about? Like it's so fucking funny, man.
Maybe
Um,
maybe that's the point. Is that like they just don't do anything all day every day, and like they just have to fill the air with just the absolute nonsense of I don't know
Right.
whatever comes out of their mouth. Because man, I mean, I guess he's pulling a bunch of the strings, behind the scenes. He's like the true leader of the city, like right now, and like is his like he got renewal, like he got all the money, and like he is it just power, like what is he just controls drugs, or like he controls politics? I mean
He
everything it seems.
controls
So
a
it's like
$1 billion fund,
yeah, okay.
which is a lot of money.
Yeah, maybe that is just it. I don't know. I always feel like there's like this something missing. I don't know, a part of the piece of the puzzle that's just missing. And I don't know what it is. Like it just feels like
Yeah, how does one man accumulate this sort of power?
yeah, and how does he exercise that power? Is it just through fear? Is it just through the threats of him, just the normal crime, like, yeah, I'll kill your family, or what? Is it that simple? Or like, I don't know. It feels like I don't know. It feels like that part's just missing for me, and I would like it to be. I don't know if it will be a part of the next movie or not. I don't know. But
and Carmine just exemplifies why he's so cunning and manipulative, convincing Bruce that Maroney had his dad killed, his parents killed. And like, if I had one complaint about the movie, you pointed out the car chase earlier. My complaint is this section of the movie and how flip-floppy things get really, really fast. The Riddler reveals, oh shit, Carmine and Thomas work together, and Thomas had that reporter killed. It's like, oh shit, Bruce goes to confront Carmine about it. Carmine is like, ooh, yeah, see, Thomas did want that, but it was because he worked for Salvatore Maroni. So Salvatore Maroni had your parents killed. And he's like, oh, fuck. So he goes to Alfred. And he's like, yo, Alfred, what the fuck? It was Maroni? And he's like, I don't know, dog. I think it was Carmine, so, and I appreciate, I appreciate the ambiguity. Yeah, it makes sense. It's not that it's completely, it's not that it's nonsensical, and ultimately the point they land on with Alfred, where he's like, I don't know. It's just what it looked like to me. It might have just been some guy who needed a couple bucks, and he couldn't pull it off. He got nervous, he pulled the trigger. So I appreciate the way it ends, but it's just a lot of really, really quick flip-flopping. Like, it's within a matter of 10 minutes that all of this happens.
Yeah.
And it's so quick.
Yeah, as a new viewer, I get, or just I don't know, first, I probably was a little confused. I think the bigger beats is kind of easy to understand, that it's it is flipping and flopping. I think that's kind of, you gather
there's no hardcore answer. And that's why finishing it with Alfred is important. You do need to end it with Alfred going, and you know what? That's just what I think, but I'm not sure. That ambiguity and that lack of assurity is kind of defining of this adaptation so far. We've talked a lot about the Riddler, and if he knows Bruce is Batman, and that ambiguity of Bruce Wayne. Matt Reeves loves his ambiguity with his Batman, and I think that's I think it's made his version of it so compelling and so interesting and worthy of us doing a 3-hour live commentary. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know. The Riddler just has me thinking, and it's just that now he's planning with the Joker in Arkham. We just know that they're cooking up whatever storm is about to come.
Right.
Whether it's in the next movie or the one after. But I mean, I don't know. I like the Riddler to be crazy and mindful, but then I think of Jim Carrey, as the Riddler, and I don't know. It could just, it doesn't have to be the mega mastermind.
It doesn't have to be an absolute fucking
doesn't
genius.
have to be, but it feels like it's more of this universe just in general, and this movie has everything figured out in every detail down to the absolute dime, that it feels like the Riddler is just kind of natural, like the writer's room. I don't know, he is like the, what's the Star
He'd
Wars?
have it beat for beat.
Wait, what? Oh my god!
I said he would have it beat for beat.
Okay,
but Palpatine.
I feel. Is it that? I feel like I make an example in Star Wars that's kind of the writer's room of just their way of shining.
Oh, the Force, the way of the Force.
Oh yeah, maybe it is just the Force in general. I thought of like a character. But yeah, no, I think it is. Yeah, it is just the Force. But I don't know. I feel like it's the Riddler would kind of be just kind of that the writer's room of like, yeah, he's the Megamind, but it's just hey, we wrote this fucking sick ass story that comes apart in this, I don't know, in this way.
In this puzzle, like we have all the pieces, and so does he, because that's his thing, But yeah, no, and that makes sense. That's why I'm like, again, I'll say it for the fourth time. Yeah. I will never tell you are incorrect for thinking that Riddler has it figured out, because he distinctly could. He could. And I think it's a really interesting way to look at the way that me and you view these stories, where you want Riddler to know versus me not wanting Riddler to know. I want him to be, I used the word earlier, but impotent, thinking he has it all figured out, but not. You know, like he's more full of himself than he actually is capable of following through on, is kind of the way I like to view this guy. Now, when it comes to the comic book adaptation of the Riddler, yeah, I would think that like he would have it all figured out. And that's what's complicated about adaptations, man. That's why I'm like, again, I'll never tell you you're wrong, you know, because if that's what they're doing here, that's what they're doing here. But yeah, this scene, you know, we're going off on that again. It's so good. The Pattinson's performance, the vulnerability he displays right here of ever going through any of that again. He lets Bruce come to the surface so poignantly, and he just knocks it out of the park. And Andy Serkis,
God damn,
he doesn't get a chance to do a ton in this movie, but his eyes speak 1,000 fucking words in that moment when he looks at him
out of the window there. Like, I don't know. It's just to give I don't know. It's too good. Oh my God. Yeah. And just, that's all it is. 1, 2, 3 seconds. You know, we get 3 seconds of them holding hands, and then it's back to back. Go get him, Bruce. Go get him, Bat Boy.
Engine revving.
Yep. And I don't know.
That wasn't you.
Yeah. Was there any word said after that? You know, did Bruce just run out of there and boom, he's Batman, or like did Alfred?
You know, I like to think Alfred looked at him and
you
it was like, you know, like maybe gave him a nod or something. Like, I get it, you know.
Yeah. Like,
because that's one of the other fun journeys of Batman and Alfred is Alfred wants to show Bruce that he can be himself. But the other side of that, Bruce showing Alfred that there's validity to Batman, is a really important part of it for me. And I think it's something that Phantasm does a really good job of. Mask of Phantasm, you remember that moment whenever he puts the mask on and Alfred like takes a step back and is like frightened for a moment, and you know, all that good stuff. Like, it's this version of Batman, I think, takes a lot from Kevin Conroy's Batman and takes a lot from comic book Batman, which I think is why ultimately it works for me better than any other live action Bat.
Man, I always forget about Phantasm. I don't know.
God, great fucking movie, dude.
Oh man, holy shit, that's just a golden egg that I feel like is just super underrated. But man, yeah, Conroy, I don't know. Conroy will forever
Unmatched.
be the first, you know, it's the one you grow up with that just kind of sticks with you forever. Like Toby will always stick with me with Spider-Man, even if like, I don't know, I do like the Andrew movies more, but then like Tom is actually really cool, and I don't know, I like his movies.
They're all great.
Cool
they're
for
all
their
great,
own reasons,
but Toby's
but,
Toby. Yeah. It's a different level.
Yeah, but I mean, my favorite, like I have no doubts of saying my favorite Batman movie, you know, is this. But favorite Batman just in general. That's just a tougher question. I don't know if I can just immediately say Pattinson over Conroy. It's just, I feel like it's just two different parts of my life.
Two different ball leagues, you know. And there's not to mention that there is one Pattinson movie versus Conroy having voiced him in I don't know how many things. You know, all the Arkham video games, the Batman animated series, Justice League Unlimited, every animated movie. Like, it's just, there's so much more Conroy, which does make it a little unfair. But you know, and we will never get that much Pattinson. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's something that you can take not solace in, but you know, you know for a fact that Conroy is the most Batman you will ever get one guy doing it.
Man. I mean, I would
a Falcon has wings too.
Yeah, all this bird, you know, all this bird stuff. It's just
all the
pointing
birds
towards a fucking owl, dude. I don't know. It's the only one left. What else do we have? We have a falcon, a bat, a penguin.
They do. The things with wings.
Even an eagle. Vic Aguilar.
Vic
Aguilar. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, we're getting every bird but an owl. And give me
No, it makes a lot of sense to be the next step, especially that shot of Oz in the courtroom with the drapes that look like owls. Like, it's just, I was skeptical fresh off of this movie, but on the other side of the Penguin, it feels inevitable. It feels inevitable, and frankly, it feels like a good route for this city to take. I think it makes a lot of sense. Now the way they handle it is important, you know. I think it's important that Carmine is, or was, a critical part of it. You know, I think it's important that the Court of Owls is floundering without Carmine. I think that would be cool.
Yeah. In my head, I feel like Carmine is like their symbolic king or queen. Like, it is like the king or queen of England.
He's the head of the court.
The court is Parliament, like the people who actually make all the decisions. But Carmine is just like maybe how Oz is to Carmine. Carmine is to the court. How they know and let Carmine have some freedom, but truly have him in a cage. But let him lead and stuff like that. But I don't know. I feel like the court, like, I have no idea. I haven't really read many comics, or I don't really know much about the court other than they just seem like
Scott Snyder. Frankly, there are so many great Batman books you should read. DC has done more Batman than practically anything. Scott Snyder's Court of Owls run is so good. And frankly, it's something that maybe we ought to reconsider getting back into is discussing some comics. But, you know, we've already got a lot on our plate. But regardless, Scott Snyder's Court of Owls run from the 2016 Rebirth arc is so gas. But this shot of him running down the side of the building fucking slays, bro.
Oh my
I love it. I love it.
That's, you know, I always kind of wonder, you know, he does seem to go up and down buildings like no problem, like, and that's just a fast way to get from.
It's really quick.
Oh my god! Like, damn! I like every little gadget he has. It just you know what I said? He needs a belt with more gadgets. But man, that was a little gadget there. You know,
there you go.
That we never see again. I don't know.
God, Selena's so cold, man. Sorry.
She's ready.
The whole like it's just so sick. Great wig, by the way. Great wig.
Man, kind of. Yeah, another portrayal, another kind of she's not a mask that she's putting on,
disguise,
but yeah, disguise. And I mean, Eve, Oz. I mean, like, almost not. Well, Oz is literal with Colin Farrell. I don't think he actually has a mask.
Yeah, technically,
but, yeah. So I mean, he's not included. I didn't mean to include him, but yeah.
God, Drifter Bruce.
Oh, the absolute
so
1-2 that's coming up in the. Oh my god, dude! I mean, to be this guy, I mean, god damn, yeah.
This is so pimp. This guy's like, wait, what's going on there? Yeah.
Witness me.
Yes, he does look like that fucking guy. That's funny.
Wow, that was the first time that I ever felt that way. That he looked like what's his name? Nick Holt. Yeah,
Nick Holt, Nicholas Holt, and in Fury Road. But what are they called? The fucking boys. The fucking I can't remember. It's something boys. I feel like.
Oh fuck.
Is it just Road Boys? No.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Oh man, that's gonna piss me off.
Yeah, we'll have to move on because I'm not gonna figure it out. But
yeah, I mean,
God, this part of the movie when the story breaks and he's like, oh well, fuck, I'm done. You know, like the newscast of the audio file and them being like, Carmine Falcone apparently strangled a woman. Who can believe it? The mafia man kills people apparently.
No way.
Crime boss Carmine Falcone apparently strangled a woman.
So he's publicly
that's
known as the crime boss of the city. Like, it is everyone knows.
He's not just some fucking guy. He is the head of the Falcone crime family.
Yeah, like, everyone knows. Like, everyone is in the city is like, yep, that's that dude. Like, no one. I mean, yeah, it's just feels weird.
God, I got to give some credit to the actress for Annika. The scream she lets out is one of the most horrific movie screams of all time.
Oh man, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is not
one of those moments that every time it's coming up, even when I'm watching it normally without it on mute, I turn it down a couple notches.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm like, yeah, that's a rough sound to hear.
How do you get there? How do you get like to that? I don't know. How do you get to that?
I've talked to
scream?
you about this before because there's a movie called Blowout. It's a Brian De Palma movie from the 80s. It's got John Travolta. It's so fucking good. But the premise is that John Travolta is a sound guy, and one of the movie he's making at the beginning has an actress who can't scream for shit. Like she's about to get murdered, she's about to get slaughtered, and she screams in the shower, and it's like laughably bad. It's like ah, and you're like, okay, well that's not believable at all. And they try to find an actress who can scream believably, and none of them can do it. And you realize, like, when have I ever screamed in actual terror? You know what I'm saying? Like that's not something I've ever done. I don't think. You know what I'm saying? So like that every time, ever since I watched that movie, anytime I've heard that, it's just put it on a whole other level performance for me.
Yeah. I've had...
Gosh, in this sequence, the muzzle flashes and the flashlight, god damn.
I guess this is one continuous shot. Damn. I mean, I wonder if it is. I wonder if all these muzzle, like, if they're blanks. No way. I don't... Wait, yeah.
I mean, they're actual muzzle flares. That's how they lit it.
Yeah, so that's
the
just
muzzle
real
flares.
blanks. That's just fucking... Wow, they're firing them point blank. I thought that was like an actual safety...
It's pretty dangerous, yeah. I'm assuming that I'm assuming there has to be some sort of visual effect going on, but that is how they lit the sequences. It's actually lit by muzzle flares.
Damn. Yeah, I wonder if just the ones that were point blank, like the barrels on his chest, if those were like the only ones added in or something like that. But because every other one was just like kind of firing randomly at the ceiling or
it's true,
or wherever. But yeah, this serial choker, bro. Yeah,
yeah, man. Yeah, he's got a thing for it. He's the hangman, you know. But this is my scene. Selena versus Carmine, and then Bruce gets introduced to the mix. You know, she delivers the you made me do this just like your mother. You know, that whole thing, like, it's so damn good.
Oh.
And this line right here, dude, whenever he's like, he has to pay, but you don't have to pay with him.
Yep.
You know, that is just Batman.
Might
dude.
be the line of the movie. Like,
it is. I mean, it is. You paid enough. That is just Bruce Wayne Batman to a T. And to understand the character so fully, to deliver a line, the fact that a line like that hasn't been in a Batman movie blows my fucking mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so obvious, but so brilliant that I cannot believe it hasn't been acted on. And just that simple of, you don't have to pay, you've paid enough. Like, that is so good, and it's so indicative of the Bat and the Cat, of Bruce and Selena's relationship and his understanding of her, even in the face of her wrongdoing. It's brilliant, dude.
Wow.
Now this is a whole other conversation here. People like to accuse this movie of propaganda because of this moment.
What?
Yeah, I disagree wholeheartedly. Now, yes, we do have this triumphant moment where the music swells and they all go, yeah, we got the crime boss. You know, not all of us work for you. There's a ton of dudes here just covering their own asses, you know?
Oh, wait, that's actually just so true. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, man, I guess I've always thought of this as just a complete flip, just to show that, just this Carmine is just going down. I don't know, but
yeah,
no, there's definitely...
he is going down, and all of them know he's going down, so they're like, fuck it, man, yeah, you are no longer the guy we're following, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, wait. Yeah, like, no way 100% of these cops are actually like, yeah, we have always stood against you. I've never taken a dollar from you ever, Carmine, I swear. Yeah, that's... Oh, man.
No, they're like, oh, shit, Batman got his ass. Okay.
Gotta do my job now. Fuck.
Guess I'll find the next guy to follow. You know, like, that's what's happening here, you know? It's just a tides turning, and this is Oz. This is probably my favorite Oz moment. Joe, you're not a black gay, Carmine. It'll probably be a last. He's so fucking good, man. Colin Farrell, I know we've showered him with love, but you're always just a gimp in an empty suit. And that's a defining line there.
Don't say one thing that, if you get on Oz's nerves, his instinct is to kill. If you make fun of him,
fucking murder
he's
you.
Going to kill you. Yeah, I mean, if you say your family, if you make
this
fun of
moment
him in
right
his
here.
dream,
Sorry.
Oh, the light, just the
and also,
light,
I looked up at your face.
Mm.
I think in that moment he knew who Bruce was. Like when he talked about his dad saving him when he got shot in the chest and he was laying on the table and the kid was watching from the staircase. He's like, I remember your face, and he's laying there, gunshot in his chest, looks up at him, and I think he looks at him and he goes, "Oh shit," and then dies.
Oh man, holy shit! That's a way to go. I mean, he thought he knew everything. Even if even if the Court Owls existed, like he's above everybody. He knows everything.
Right.
And then he's like, "Wait, what the fuck?" He's like,
hold
on
the
a second,
fort, dude.
The Prince of God, whatever is.
Yeah.
So,
in that specific moment of just the visual language of it, Matt Reeves positioning the camera, Fraser and Reeves positioning the camera of Turturro looking directly into it, and then Pattinson looking directly down into it. I think there's just a moment there where they are, where Turturro is looking at him and going, "Oh fuck," and then dying.
Damn. Yeah, that's. Oh my god, I haven't thought about that one yet. But yeah, man, this is another thing, is that his apartment is dedicated to this. Like, the dude is for the cause. He is as dedicated to the Riddler as the Batman is to the Bat. And
now, this is the part of the movie where I don't really have an explanation for a way around it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The whole unmask the truth and the pictures of the orphanage and Thomas Wayne and Batman and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if there is any part of the movie where I can go, okay, you're probably right. It's everything on his wall. But even then, it's still ambiguous enough where you could go the opposite way. Oh, dude, there's these shots coming up right here.
Mm.
Oh my
That's
god,
like a painting.
dude.
I feel like that's like a famous.
It is.
Know,
It's exactly like that.
Oh my god, I can't. That's the first time I've noticed that, and that's just beautiful. It's like a newer version of it, like a retro. That painting.
God, do you remember
retro. Oh my god.
You remember the teaser trailer for this movie? Where they showed like that, and then they showed the coffee cup and the panning up above it and the question mark inside it. God damn. I cannot wait for Batman 2 marketing to start, dude. Because if there is, I mean, this movie's already so great, but if there's any one thing they got right outside of the movie, it was the goddamn marketing, dude. They knocked that the fuck out of the park.
Mm-hmm. They were kind of showing him up, like he is the villain of the movie. Like, they're showing that question mark, like, and it's barely a part of this. Yeah. Like, I feel like you're right in that he is this, like, he actually doesn't quite know what he's doing, but because he's just insane, but he's like, I think it's like and he's evil. Like, he actually, like, you can't understand, like, the motives that he has. Like, he feels like he has it all figured out, and that he is smarter than everybody, and that,
Patrick
when things
Parker,
go to your plan, like, he has transformed the city. Like, the dude legitimately,
God,
like,
that push right there, and then the lift up, the slow lift. God, that's good, man.
Like, the dude, I don't know. He seems that he's putting on an act of being stupid, and like, whenever he's that live stream video that, like, is revealed later, he's like, "Hey guys, thanks for the tip on explosives." Is that truly him?
That's where I think that's where I don't give him credit. I think that is him at his most genuine. You know, I don't think that's him putting on an act. I don't think that's him being like, well, I'm going to be dumb for my followers. I think that that's him at his most vulnerable. You know, he's found his community. He's found his people. And therein, he feels he can be most honestly himself.
Yeah.
And therefore, he's like, and thanks for all the tips on the detonators. You know, we're going to get these guys, man. We're going to get them. It's going to be good.
Honestly,
you know,
where my theory crumbles the most is that video right there. Like, because that it does seem like it is his most genuine self. And that's like, he does not seem like the one who has figured out Bruce Wayne as Batman and that he has all figured out. Yeah.
And that's the other stuff though, is that like he does have, there's something on the background of that shot of Jim right there that literally says, who is the Batman?
Oh,
you know, like,
what?
so yeah, like he wants to know who the Batman is.
Yeah.
But and that's why I go back to the fact that I do think if he ever figured it out, and this is just a perspective thing, you know, there's no way to really test this.
Mm-hmm.
If he knew that Batman was Bruce Wayne, I don't think his respect for Bruce Wayne goes up. I think his respect for Batman goes down. I think that's just how he works. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. That's true. Yeah, he has to go further into the villain category.
Yeah,
you know,
I don't think he goes, oh, maybe I'm wrong. I think he goes, oh, I'm more right. You know what I'm saying? Like, this petty, rich white boy thinks he can go ahead and inflict his will upon us because his daddy died. You know, like, I think that's more what he would go into rather than like, oh, I get him more than ever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the dude, I mean, I feel like he would just be like, ultimately jealous of Batman too. He's like, damn, you're an orphan and you're actually like
100%.
You're an orphan.
He's
that's actually a superhero. And like,
not only was he everything he wanted as an orphan, he's everything he wants to be behind the mask. You know what I'm saying? Like he's he aspired to that level when he wasn't behind the mask, and then when he was behind the mask, he was like, damn, I wish I was the Batman. You know what I'm saying? He just didn't realize they were the same person. At least that's how I look at it. And I think that I just think that when it comes to the Riddler, he's so small. I just think that giving him more, and I don't disagree that when it comes to Arkham Riddler and a lot of comic adaptations of Riddler, he deserves that sort of respect, and that he is, you know, he's smarter than everybody there is. And I agree that this guy is smart. There's no doubt about it. This Riddler is smart as fuck. But he's not as smart as he thinks he is. And I think that's what's important. He's not as capable as he is smart. And I think that's what's important, is that he's incredibly intelligent, but he doesn't have the savvy to back it up the way that Bruce does. You know, he might be smarter than Bruce. You know, like he might be smarter than Bruce, but he's not as capable as Bruce is. And I think that that's what separates him. It's what makes him the hero versus the villain. And then this is the part where I'm like, you know what? Maybe he does know who Bruce is.
Yeah.
You know, who is the Batman? I know the real you.
And
see, but then that's the other thing, is that we are getting this scene through the eyes of Bruce. And he's going, oh, fuck, does he know who I am? And therein, the music is making him go, oh, fuck, does he know who he is? And the shots are going, oh, fuck, does he know who he is? But does he know who he is? You know, like that's and that's the complicated thing.
I feel like that picture of Bruce that was up on the wall was the funeral. Like that was a recent picture. And then the carvings next to it was if only I knew what I knew now. Like I feel like that goes to more to prove that like he did figure it out during this process. Like he's like, "Oh wait, holy shit." Like things did, I don't know. Like maybe the plan did change.
I didn't see a picture of Bruce.
Yeah, it was Bruce. It was straight up Bruce on the wall next to "I know the real you" in one of the other pictures, and then the carving that was next to it was "If only I knew what I knew now." So.
I didn't see that part. Yeah, that's pretty damning, bro.
Bruce was on the wall, but Bruce was one of his targets, I guess. I don't know, and
Bruce was one of his targets.
But
if only I knew then what I knew now was pretty damning. I didn't see that.
If only I knew then what I knew now. Like maybe that could be his past. I don't like that could be like what he. Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
If only you knew how long I've been waiting for this day, for this moment. See, that's where that indicates to me it hasn't changed.
Everything has gone to plan. Yeah, he planned to go to Arkham. Like he knew he would be here.
Yes, this is part of it. He knew he'd come face to face with him here.
And so he did. Did he actually expect Bruce to pull the carpet up? And I mean, like, yeah, the carpet, like, it is all
yes,
there,
that was part of it.
Yeah.
He did want him to find it.
It is all there. So, like, he expected him to actually find it. But then, yeah, this is another just one of the more telling parts here, I feel like, is just the ambiguity of the
like, he feels like he's mocking him. Like, from the perspective of Bruce, it feels like he's mocking him. But is that just the muses of a psychotic man going, Bruce Wayne, we almost got him. Like we almost did it, man. And that's what's great, man. I have no fucking idea.
The detail to me that I think sells it the most is that he does that, to get under his skin immediately. He knows Bruce is looking at the cameras, that it's recording. He's worried about his identity getting out. And then he immediately switches from Bruce Wayne to, it's the only one we didn't get. So if anyone watches the recording, it's like, oh yeah, no way Bruce Wayne, I don't know, is Batman. But only Bruce in this moment would know and be freaked out by that delivery. I don't know.
But then I listen to the content of what he's saying. Living in a tower isn't being an orphan. Looking down on everyone with all that money. Don't you tell me. That's not an orphan. And he asks, do you know what being an orphan is? And he explains what his experience was, which again could go the other way. It could go the other way. Like he is speaking directly to him. Like you are, if you are Bruce Wayne, this is what it actually is. But I just don't give him enough credit to have that sort of nuance. To look at Bruce Wayne and go, but because you're Batman, I can forgive you for that. I think he's so bitter about that. That's why he's going through all of this, is that he went through all of that at all. That's why he wants to kill Bruce Wayne. So I don't know.
Maybe I'm putting too much importance on the recording, but I feel like that's going to be a big part of the next movie, that this recording will get out because the Riddler was such a big, I don't know, figure.
Right.
That this will get out, and the Riddler has to, like, he can't just say, hey, like, talk to Bruce and say
Pattinson's
it's Bruce.
So good.
Like, he has to.
Sorry.
It's all right. But, like, I feel like he has to hold up for the recording that Bruce Wayne is not Batman. So, like, he's talking to Bruce in a way that Bruce fully understands. I don't know, like, what he's saying. He knows he's talking about him. But as far as the recording goes, he doesn't want Gotham to know that Batman is Bruce Wayne, because if that happens, then he can't be Batman anymore. So, like, I feel like it's the focusing on the camera. I feel like at least there's something there that's unanswered, and I feel like that's only a next movie thing. Because if he planned to get to Arkham, this is a plan the whole time. He knew cameras are going to be there. I don't like, or maybe I don't know. Like, but it feels
and the other perspective, the other perspective to have there. I said that maybe because he aspired to be Bruce when he was an orphan. Have all that money, live in a tower, and he aspires to be the Batman when he has them. Like, looking at him now, being like, you did it. You did what I was never capable of doing, and so there is that. Again, that's why I'll never tell you you're wrong for that opinion, because I can absolutely see it. I guess I take more solace in the idea that he's more pathetic than he is talented. You know what I'm saying? Because, and then this is where I think my perspective takes hold, when things fall apart for him. If things are falling apart for him and he realizes Batman isn't on his side, why wouldn't he just go, well, you're Bruce Wayne? Fuck it. If you're not on my side anymore, like I thought you were.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I don't know.
This was not how this was supposed to go. Officially, things are off the rails.
Yeah,
officially, things are not going to plan.
Yeah, like, he truly thought that, if I'm right, he truly thought that Bruce would forego, I don't know, just join him here
and be like, okay, no, you are an orphan just like me. Like, yeah, no, I do agree with your ploys and everything, but yeah, I don't.
See, and then now things have changed. Bruce didn't figure it out. Batman didn't figure it out.
Yeah, that's true.
So now he's like, oh, I thought more of you. And because he thought more of him.
Wait. Oh my God. If he figured it out and he's truly the hero, he'll go stop the bombing from happening. He'll have the time. He won't be here in Arkham. But if he goes there, that's the Riddler's way of being like, oh, you're okay with my plan of blowing up Gotham and we can watch it here together.
That's true.
So, like, he knows. That's why it's so unexpected for him to be like, no, you're sick, you're twisted. Because he's like, wait a minute, you're okay with the bombing, but then now you're calling me sick and twisted? I feel like maybe it's not a Bruce's Batman, but it's at least this is his way of knowing Batman's on my his side. Yeah. And I've never thought of that before.
See, but now he feels for the very first time that he's superior to Bruce, which is why he's singing to him. Yeah. He's like, oh shit.
The music that is played while his parents fucking died, and the same music that's played while Batman is in the orphanage, seeing the projection played. I don't know. There's too many things that line up. The dude knows. It's just, I feel like I've almost solidified it now. I don't know. I feel like he just knows, and just every little detail, the opera music. I don't know. I guess, but one of the targets is Bruce Wayne, so that's how it just falls apart instantly. Is that one of the targets has to be researched and known, and that just happens to be Bruce, who is an orphan, and I don't know, has all that stuff.
Yeah, no, and that's why like the ambiguity is so effectively done. I just think that because of that fallout. Him realizing, oh shit, Batman didn't figure it out. All of a sudden, I'm better than him. You know, I don't know. I don't know one way or the other how that makes me feel, and that's why I'm like, I guess what I want is swaying me more than anything. But also, I do feel that there is that purposeful ambiguity. I don't think it's open and shut.
Man, I can't believe I've never thought of, like, he knows he's all in if he shows up there at Arkham. And, like, if not, then obviously he's going to go and try to save and probably die in the explosions. I don't know. Like, is that the alternative, that he can't actually stop it all? You know, no matter what he does, the plan will still go off. But
that's true. You know, there is that there's 7 fucking bombs. He can't possibly get to them all. But who knows? Like, if they did figure it out, he wouldn't be the only one going to try to defuse them. They would have sent 7 different fucking bomb disposal units.
It's with a detonator. Like, what is it? It's not on a timer. Like, is it? Oh, it's when they watch the video, he puts the password in the fucking computer. Oh my God! It's literally so when he figures it out, the timer started.
No,
so
it's on a timer though, because he said we would watch it together. You know, like we would be here together and it would happen.
Yeah, like join me in Arkham, see me in hell, join me on my side. Because if he's okay with the explosions and he goes there, then he's like,
It happens really quick after this though. You know, like after the password gets put in, like it's within minutes.
That's what I'm saying. That's like, is that a coincidence? That's weird. Like the password's put in.
No, yeah, I agree, but that's the other thing though, is that if he had figured it out and he had put the password in and they figured out that that's what was going to happen earlier.
Oh, he wouldn't have gotten out of the city.
He wouldn't have been able to get to Arkham by time.
I guess, yeah.
By the time, yeah, you know, that's the inconsistency there. But no, I do agree with it in spirit though, that like the timing of the bombs has always been interesting to me anyway. It does seem like they are on a timer. Like, no matter what, they were going to go off at the same time. And I have a feeling it's more in line with Election Day than it is anything that Bruce is doing.
Okay, that's true. Because they know there's going to be a rally, a bunch of people in the garden already, and it needs to go off during that rally. So
yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's fair. So yeah, it's not them putting in the password, because he definitely wants him to be at Arkham. You know, if he is okay with the bombing, then it's like, yeah, you know, it's okay. That's fair. Man, yeah, in this moment too, in the I don't know, like this, like seeing this for the first time and being like, wait, what's happening right now? And I didn't have the penguin shot of like what actually was going down. Like, I don't know, I feel like that even reframed it more. But yeah,
it did, absolutely.
I mean, it's just I don't know, it feels like it was just structural damage and not a lot of people. I don't know. I didn't visually see a bunch of people die and flow in the water and the home.
The flooding that we see in the movie outside of the garden is ankle high. You know what I'm saying? Like, we never actually see it be that fucking bad.
That's true. Yeah.
Like, it floods the garden, but it's like, well, the garden's outside, and it's out like this. Yeah, that's going to sweep some people away. People are probably going to die, but not like. It's not going to knock over buildings.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but it knocked over buildings. And I think that's what the show did to recontextualize this a whole. See, Bella Real just won, officially. And then they're like, and a violent explosion has happened. So like,
damn. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Well, I guess Vic also did live a lot closer to the seawall. So
that's true.
Maybe that's why.
Well, and then that goes back to what I was saying about like his motivations. If he knows Bruce is Batman and he admires Batman, and see, this is where I'm like, this is still not entirely out of the realm of possibility. I believe that he wants so badly to be a part of the club. You know, it's not just that he wants to stick it to the rich guys. He wants to be one of them. So what he does is he inflicts his will upon the poor folk the way that he sees fit. You know, he blows up the seawall. He punishes those who can't do anything about it, inflicting unto them what has been inflicted unto him. You know, like, that makes sense. I could see it. But also, I could also see that as a faltering of his messaging as a whole in his plan. Like, oh, you don't really stand for anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could just be even his motivations that he's acting like he has could be a mask. That's why I'm like, I agree wholeheartedly that the puzzle thing, yeah, he's a fucking mystery, man. There's no fucking telling what this guy's up to.
And because he was is it known that he was an an accountant before? He just had all the renewal, like I think where I'm getting that is like, what did you find in his apartment? It was like nothing but ledgers and or like,
I don't think they say anything in the movie about him being an accountant. That's Riddler Year One. That is the comic book that says that.
Oh, okay. And I guess. Yeah, I don't. Maybe I'm just putting
that shot right there. By the way, sorry, the guy looking through the scope. God damn, that's good.
Oh my god!
And frankly, when I was in the theater, this was one of the most harrowing moments of any movie I've ever fucking watched, simply because of the real world implication of the very real danger of mass shootings in America is horrifying to depict on screen so bluntly.
Yeah, it's like it's scary that it's like that easy. Like, you know, like this is very fake and I don't know, in a crazy comic book world, but like they use social media influence to just gather a few people and in one event with, I don't know.
Don't forget your cling wrap. Yeah, like it's and it's politically charged. It's at an election. You know, it's very poignant. And I think that this movie, it gets a lot of credit, don't get me wrong, obviously, but it just feels so relevant in a way that I never would have anticipated it feeling relevant, you know? It feels like a real danger that people could face, that the Batman could deal with if we had a Batman. And that's bizarre, you know, like usually, you know, the Joker, yeah, he's a chaos guy. He robs banks, you know. How much are you ever going to deal with somebody who robs fucking banks? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're never going to face somebody who robs fucking banks. You know, like, this is an influencer who uses his 500 followers, you know, his real fringe types to go ahead and inflict his will. Like, that's something that could happen, you know, and that's that's what's really poignant about this, and that's what like this action sequence.
Oh,
This is fucking electric,
Oh my
man.
God.
You know,
yeah.
I've seen a lot of people go, you know, if there's any one thing this movie doesn't do on the level of Nolan, it's action. And I would agree with that. You know, you pointed out earlier that the chase sequence, 100%, that is not on the level of Nolan stuff. Nolan stuff, when it comes to cars, vehicles, all of that, different level. This is better than anything Nolan ever did.
Meaningful action. This
Yes. You know, like, the only one that I can think of that comes close is actually, in my least favorite movie, Rises. Bane versus Batman, and all of, and the people versus the cops and all that. Like, that's the people versus the inmates and the Bane soldiers and all that. That's probably the only thing that comes close to this. But beyond that, it is more the grand set pieces that ultimately stand apart action-wise for Nolan. There is sort of an intimacy to the action being taken here by Bruce that he does not feel immune. He feels like he is at risk. He could die. You know, like the way that you made Nolan's Batman feel like he was about to die is go, well, he's going out over the water with a fucking nuclear bomb. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
no autopilot.
That's a whole other level going on.
Yeah. To be believed, no autopilot. You know, earlier in the movie,
exactly.
like it was made a point to be like, yeah, this dude has no option. He's dead.
I have never noticed that he did that to a fire hydrant, and that's why that happened.
Yeah, I mean,
I've always thought that was like a smoke bomb that he did that with. I didn't realize he put a bomb on a fire hydrant, and that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
So, yep, you learned something new.
This, I mean, yeah, and kaboom. I mean, even with some armor, that is holy shit. The fact that he's holding on with one arm, dog,
no, that's crazy.
Dog, I try to do that in
God,
the
that
gym.
shot right there,
Impossible.
that fucking shot.
Yeah.
That's... These are the sorts of things that Greg Fraser does with a camera where you go,
How do they do
how the
that?
fuck
Wait, yeah.
do you even do that?
Were those...
Like the...
What? Yeah, were people...
The radial blur coming off... What's going on? The water rushing?
What is... Are
That's
people
unbelievable.
Wait, what is going on there? Is that two shots composited onto one? Or...
Oh
my God. Yeah.
Selena, man.
Thank God.
Coming through.
Oh
what a G.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that can make Bruce nearly kill a person.
Yeah, this, I mean, to think that he's almost going to die here. Like, I mean, it's Batman, the first movie, but like, I'm actually like, wait a minute. Holy shit. Like, is he?
Yeah, no, I was like, I
what?
guess we don't know if there's going to be a sequel. I guess this could be a standalone Batman movie where he saves the day and fucking dies.
I mean, Shambles here. And then when he slices the electrical line, I'm like, holy shit, he just died
Oh,
again.
dude.
I'm like, he just died again.
And there's a shot during that I'm going to have to point out. This is the funniest shot of the movie, by the way. Selena. I don't know why. That kills me every time. Just the kind of... I mean, anybody face down looking like that, it looks a little funny because your face is weighted down like that. Everybody looks like that. It's funny. But it's just like looking directly into the camera. It always reminds me of that meme of Tony Stark where it's like, clearly you don't own an air fryer. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but it fucking kills me every time.
Oh man, no, I haven't. But just the phrase alone of I don't know. Do you own an air fryer? Was just funny.
Clearly, you don't own an air fryer. Yeah, it's Tony Stark with like a fucking smirk on his face and like an eyebrow raised. It's fucking stupid.
Boom, straight adrenaline.
God, and that screech, that
bang. Yeah, come on.
It's good. And then the fucking thwops he's giving this guy.
Douche. I mean,
Selena's like, oh,
like, okay, wait, all right. I mean, we can back off. Yeah. I mean, damn that. I mean, was that just adrenaline? Did they confirm that actually in a concept book or something like that?
In the concept, the art of the Batman. Yeah, it's just adrenaline.
That's awesome. I don't know.
And that can always be retconned if they see fit. But as of right now, yes, that is just adrenaline.
Okay. Yeah, I like I don't know. I don't produce it anymore at all, so that would have to be how I'd have to get it. If I need that fight or flight.
No. Something that just kills me is whenever Gordon pulls him off. Like, here's the thing. That guy is still pumping fucking adrenaline. You know what I'm saying? And him, like, calmly walking away is so fucking funny in that context. Like, knowing he is just... and him just kind of, like, stiff.
Ooh. Part of the Gotham TV show was Scarecrow. I think it was Scarecrow. Got adrenaline by scaring people and taking the adrenaline literally from their blood as they are frightened to death.
Oh, that's cool.
And I mean, I don't think Bruce is doing that, but like, can you just synthesize adrenaline? I don't know. Is that like, I feel like, I'm just not in the know.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. Do you just
where the fuck do you get that?
Get that from bodies?
Yeah.
I don't know. That is bizarre. I've never considered if it's an organic material purely, or if you can manufacture it.
Yeah. Not only asking for the movie's sake, also asking just for
the aerial shots of the water. We'll obviously get a lot more of them here in a second. But the no hesitation, seeing what's happening, slip out there, and there's this shot right here. I'm going to point it out. It's going to happen in a moment. His eyes are blacked out. This. Oh my God. That is so fucking cold. It is so brief. It is so dope. Oh my God. And then I will never forget the fucking silence.
Pin drop.
Befell the theater whenever this happened, dude.
Oh my God. It was unbelievable. I mean, I feel like you just heard like people like, like it was just, you heard that gasp. You just heard like everyone.
That's what's crazy is he pops out of the water immediately. I've never felt that.
Yep.
I've never felt it was
so
immediate.
Long.
It feels like it takes forever for him to get out of the water, dude. That's why, like, no matter what, from here on, I know it's a lot more than a scene. This is my favorite scene of the movie.
Yeah,
dude.
I mean, come on.
It's when Batman becomes Batman. And obviously he's been Batman for 2 years. He's been doing it the whole fucking movie. But this is when things are redefined for him. And him coming over here, him looking into the mess of people frightened for their lives. They don't know who this guy is. They know he's a vigilante and he runs through the streets and he does, he inflicts his will where he sees fit. And you think he's reaching for the leader of the city, but no. No. He's reaching for the child who we saw earlier going through a moment of pain, and that child is the first to trust him. And I think that is so powerful and so thoroughly Batman that it just sets this adaptation apart. It just so clearly gets what Bruce Wayne and Batman is about on a level that no prior adaptation really did, and not to say that no adaptation ever that they never got Batman. That's just how much this one does, I mean, this and the visual language, and that's why I love having the 4K. By the way, the 4K, the 4K disc of this. Where I don't know if your TV set, like you can adjust your TV settings and everything, but I know when I'm watching it on Max, this is typically washed out. It's like all red.
Yep,
I can see the detail. I can see everything on screen right now. I'm watching it on the projector. It's fucking beautiful.
I do love the lens flare. I mean, everything about that shot.
Oh God, the lens flare is fucking gorgeous, dude.
Yeah, it's just,
but just everything, and then we bookend the movie Wednesday, November 6th, baby. It's just. That dog, I hope that dog's okay.
Yeah. He look like I don't know. There's hopefully a lot of food. Yeah, in that diner right there. If he swims in there, there's a lot of leftover food for him probably.
God, do you realize how fucking fast the last 35 fucking minutes of that movie is?
Yeah.
It's insane.
Oh my God. I mean that's why this movie at 3 hours can just never, I don't know, it never gets old. I feel like you watch the first 2 hours, then you're like, okay, strap in for the roller coaster. You are taking off. And I mean, and then it really take off. And
we're off into the Penguin, baby.
Yeah,
it's time for the rewatch,
man. And those like the blurs at the edge, like of I don't know, just
that radial blur that Greg Fraser is able to establish. I need to watch Dune 2 tonight, dude.
Yeah.
No.
All right. Yep.
I don't
Another
know.
3 hours.
I don't know.
Live com
Yeah, let's
part
do it.
2.
Let's
fucking Dune 2.
let's
go.
lock in. But and
Uh,
this monologue, I have had an effect, but not the one I intended.
Mhm.
You know, I didn't realize that I needed to be a light, not darkness, and I cannot wait to see how that is implemented in the next movie. Him being a ray of hope, not a tool of vengeance, and seeing how Bruce is able to become that, seeing how he grapples with the idea of what he's been versus what he needs to become. Matt Reeves has obviously in an interview recently said that the second movie deals with Bruce more grappling with being Batman. He has a tough time being Batman. I'm excited to see what that means. Does that mean he's having a tough time putting on the suit at all? Does that mean he's committed more to the Bruce Wayne persona? Or does that mean he just doesn't know what Batman is if he's not vengeance? And then there's that shot I was talking about earlier, the parallel of him looking up at the signal earlier before he was caked in mud. Whenever the guy's like, don't hurt me.
Wow. Yeah, I guess they do always call him. They don't call him Batman. They call him Vengeance.
Never. They call him
yeah,
Vengeance.
and you're right. Like Gordon calls him Man. Like I mean, and like it's never Batman. But now, like I feel like in the next movie, everyone will call him Batman. Like it's like he has earned the name now. But that maybe himself, he's like
he's a superhero now.
Like, yeah,
he's not just some guy in a suit. You know, like I talked about that all at the beginning of the episode, that he's just some fucking guy in a suit beating the shit out of people. Now that he's done this, he's a superhero. And I think that that's really, really fucking awesome, man. And it's what, you know, obviously this scene with the Riddler. This is, if I have another complaint, this should have been a post-credit scene.
Yeah.
This is a obviously studio mandated.
Yep.
You're teasing something to come. Go ahead and plug it into the movie sort of scene. It doesn't even, you know, it gives us a little bookend with the Riddler, which is fine. I didn't really need it though. I think the movie could have done without it. And frankly, that shot though is gorgeous of him. Yeah, that's good looking stuff. And frankly, there's not a moment of this movie that doesn't look good. You know what I'm saying? Greg Fraser doesn't make stuff that don't look good.
You just knows how to place a camera. Yeah,
God, he does, and he knows how to light a fucking scene. I'll tell you that much. But this is one of those scenes where I'm like, I could have done without it. But fuck, what were we talking about before that?
Shit.
Yeah, it's gone, bro. It's gone. Fuck it. Barry Keoghan. Barry Keoghan is the Joker. What do you we got that deleted scene. How do you feel about that? Generally, the design, everything. How do you feel about it?
It's different.
I'm not it's one of the only things I am expressly not a fan of.
Feels rushed to me. It feels like, yeah, like maybe you're like, they needed this mandated part of the movie, and it's like, well, fuck, we have to have a Joker in here. We're going this ultra different look. I don't know, and you're right. There's just, it's off. I don't know. There's something that's just not quite there. And I mean, like Heath Ledger was simply makeup, and like, I mean, his scars, like,
you got
weren't
scars,
as bad.
but even that's not
I don't know.
extreme.
Yeah, it was,
you know, that guy's mangled.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
If he's thrown in
but,
a vat
you know,
of chemicals, you know, if they're going down that route and he was actually dropped in, you know, a vat, and I don't know, he's actually fucked up. I'm sure. But in this universe where they're going for ultra realistic and everything, it just doesn't seem like that's the Joker that would have been here. I don't know. It just it just didn't fit. I don't know. It was yeah, you're right. I don't know. It doesn't feel quite the same. Yeah. But I do want to point to this scene. This is going to be a harrowing foreshadowing. This Batman's not going to get a happy ending. Yeah, probably not.
This Batman is going to sacrifice himself. You know, Selena says it's going to kill you eventually at the end of this first movie, and it will. It will 100% kill this guy. Yeah. You know, when it came to Christian Bale's Batman, yeah, he was always going to, it felt like, you know what? Yeah, he is going to ride off into the sunset. This guy's not going to get that privilege.
Yeah.
And there's a certain devastating beauty about that.
Are they going to die together? I mean, they're in a graveyard right now.
Look at that. Good take. Good take.
Is this
they end the first movie in a graveyard together? Do they end the last movie in a graveyard together? I like that.
Oh my God.
I like that.
Yeah, they separate for now, but then once they
They'll
come back together, they can never be apart. I don't know. Maybe, I mean, it's
they'll rest for eternity side by side.
I don't know. This feels like the most natural relationship out of all of them. Like, I don't know.
Oh,
like,
100%.
Like, this is one I could totally get behind, and I want for the next 2 movies, please, and just give me all of it.
Well, that's the thing is that like when it came to Michael Keaton's Batman, he had a different love interest in the first movie than he did the second movie. Val Kilmer's had Nicole Kidman and George Clooney had his, and Bruce Wayne always had a Rachel, but Rachel dies and all that good stuff. Like I don't expect him to live happily ever after or anything. And then Christian Bale actually ends up living happily ever after with the Catwoman. But like that's why I'm like I don't think this one's gonna get that.
No.
Because that's already been done. Because there's already been a Batman adaptation. Like this scene is going to hit so fucking different whenever this saga's over. Them riding off side by side is going to be a whole, and I'm already getting chills thinking about it. Neither of them's going to make it out of this
really
fucking
weird
thing.
timing. My AC just turned cool. Like in my,
I'm sitting you got literal
right
chills
below my vent. So yeah, it literally that was so weird. Yeah, I mean, but then they do right.
No,
apart.
yeah, I'm already like I haven't even thought about this movie in the context of being the past. You know what I'm saying? Obviously it is our only thing now, but we're on to something here. Neither of them makes it out.
Why was
and
it
this
in a graveyard?
ending,
yeah, like what?
Yeah. This ending of them riding off into the sunset side by side, it's going to hit all fucking different, man.
How on the fucking 28th watch of this movie, I don't even know what I'm on, but like how?
Yeah, 15th for me.
How?
That's fucking crazy.
Like there is still, I don't know.
Let's go ahead and log this bad boy on Letterboxd.
It's time.
Yeah, I'm going to log it live on the air, baby.
I
think it's the first time I'm ever doing this.
Yeah, it's been 5 every single time. That will never change.
I am drunk, by the way. Like fucking. Woo!
There we go. Yes,
all right.
I don't know when it hit exactly, but I think during the pee break, it really soaked in, actually. So,
okay.
So, yeah, that was...
I got to turn the brightness up a little bit, because I'm like, depth of field is not operating how it's supposed to. Man, this may be the greatest movie ever made.
I mean, it's kind of...
I love it with all my heart.
It is a comic book movie and people dismiss it, but like it sounds weird, but like it is just one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life. I don't know. It is Batman, but I don't know. It is just that good. I don't know. It's visually there. Every actor is popping off. It gets me to spin these webs. I don't know. No movie has made me watch it this many times this fast. And I don't know. I don't know. There's more to come is the crazy thing. So...
Sorry, I'm typing. I said, man, this may be the greatest ever. This may be the greatest. Thank God I'm reading this out loud. This may be the greatest movie ever made. I love it with all my heart. Thanksgiving couldn't have been kicked off better. 4 straight years of live commentaries for the podcast on Thanksgiving.
Holy.
I'm so happy. I'm also so drunk.
For being drunk, you are a fast typer. I mean, that's impressive. On the phone?
Thank you.
That was on the phone?
I will say, and obviously I don't know because I am the one who's drunk. You'll have to tell me. I feel like I've held my own pretty well.
Damn well. Yeah.
Pretty coherent.
Very well.
I feel like there will be many who will be like, wait a second, he was drunk?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe not. Maybe if you are listening from beginning to end,
no.
maybe there is a devolution. I don't know.
I'm also not the
but
best.
I get to.
I don't know. I'm also not the most sober myself. So
You are also high. Yeah, that doesn't
mhm.
help.
Yes.
Live commentary. This reminds me, I've got to do the. I love adding tags to the logs. I love a good tag.
I don't utilize them. Yeah, I don't know.
I love it.
I still haven't gotten to
it.
the full depth of Letterboxd quite yet.
Oh, I dive in. I dive in, brother. Yeah, if you look at mine right now, it's got physical collection, 4K, live commentary, Thanksgiving.
Shit.
Let's see what else did I want to? Oh, sentimentalists, because I've got every diary entry that we've done for the sentimentalists. They're all 5 stars, by the way. We don't have a single not 5 stars for me on the sentimentalists so far, including tomorrow's. Sorry to spoil. Oh, I just got the Gremlin live on the air. Fuck yeah. Have you ever gotten the Gremlin?
The Gremlin? No, I don't.
Oh, dude, stay on Letterboxd a little longer. You'll get the Gremlin, baby. Shake your phone a little bit. You'll get the Gremlin.
Oh, there he is. What the heck?
Look at him.
What the heck? I had no clue.
You don't feed gremlins after midnight? Yeah, that's the whole they have their fun. They have their fun
my
over
God,
on Letterboxd.
they're so good. Fuck.
Yeah,
Okay.
they get it. They get it. But dude, thank you so much again for doing this with me. I'm so incredibly thankful for the Batman. I'm incredibly thankful for the Star Wars. I'm incredibly thankful for the movies. But more than anything, I am so thankful that however many, over 3 years ago now, obviously it's 4 Thanksgivings, but over 3 years ago now, I hit you up one day to see if you wanted to do a podcast, and we've just been doing them every day ever since. I appreciate you so greatly. So thank you so much, buddy.
Oh, of course. And right back to you, homie. I think just from the first day, we just kind of stumbled on a formula that worked, at least for me. Just sitting down with my best homie and talking Mandalorian at the time, and then evolving to what it did and everything we talked about. So, yeah, I couldn't have asked for anything
natural.
better.
It's natural.
Of course, but man.
And that brings us to about 3 hours here. That's fucking crazy, man. If you would, head to patreon.com/PennyBloomPod. Slide me $1.50 to put this podcast on, baby. The Patreon's still available. We don't do shit over there. It's basically just you donating for us to put this show on, which is a huge help. It costs me money, and I don't make any money off of it. You're just supporting us financially, which is huge. Like I said, cost me money. I don't make any off of it. Help us out. I appreciate it greatly. Head to TikTok, follow at Penny Bloom Dispatch. Follow me on Blue Sky at Colton Robertson. That is where you'll get most of our updates. We've also got Penny Bloom Dispatch. We've also got at The Sentimentalists. You can do all of that good stuff. Blue Sky, Twitter, all of it. Thank you so much for being here.
You are absolutely holding it down for being in this state of mind. How were you doing?
I'm fucked. I gotta piss so bad again. We've reached the other half of the movie, man. I'm fucking done, dude. So, and that's about all I'm gonna do. Leave a 5-star rating review and download wherever you might be listening. We have another episode coming out tomorrow on Black Friday. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull will be out tomorrow. We are currently covering the Indiana Jones franchise. We are gonna hit the 4th out of 5 movies tomorrow. And I'm so excited. We've got Kingdom of the Crystal Skull and then Dial of Destiny. And then after that, we are jumping into the Lord of the Rings trilogy, the theatrical editions. I cannot wait for that. We got a little Andy Serkis today, got a little Gollum going. Super excited for that little crossover there for you. So go ahead and check that out. And yeah, like I said, leave a 5-star rating review wherever you might be listening, download episodes, and subscribe. The Sentimentalists, we're going to be coming at you week after week with movie coverage and all sorts of good stuff. So stick with us and come back next Thanksgiving for whatever else we might be doing a live commentary of. But yeah, with that, I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. And it's always a pleasure to be here, homie.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. And remember, have yourself a happy Thanksgiving, buddy.
Hello, everybody. Episode is not quite over. Quick disclaimer here before we move on. My audio ended up only recording 3 hours, and it cut off after the end. It was the limit. of my recording software. So the last part of the recording is Colton's voice only and not mine, but it was too good to leave out. We had to leave it in. So here, upcoming will be 5 more minutes of Colton talking through the credits of the movie, and you're going to want to hear it. So here you go.
I've never looked at every single credit for this movie. There was one that was called The Best Boy Grip. Yeah, because they have like main grip, assistant grip, and they also had Best Boy Grip, which is, I don't know. A grip is, it's similar to a production assistant. They're kind of a jack of all trades. Let's see. I don't know if it stands for anything. I'm gonna look it up. What is a grip? Movie production? Because I was speaking out of my ass a little bit. I'm drunk as fuck. It's a technical role, a technical job role on a film set. The grip leads the grip department who assemble and maintain camera gear. You call them grips because they look after the equipment that a camera grips onto: a tripod, a dolly, a car rig. So he was the best boy. The Best Boy Grip, which is an incredible credit. I cannot imagine that's a credit on every single movie. Best Boy Grip. I'm Googling that. War Boys. Thank you. Yeah. Wow, a Best Boy Grip is also a pretty common credit. A Best Boy Grip is a crew member on a film set who assists the key grip, the head of the grip crew, and manages the grip department's daily operations. So he is like a production, he's like a director's assistant, but for the head, for the key grip. He's the Best Boy Grip, which is incredible. It's considered gender neutral on a film set. Oh, dude. Incredible. Incredible. Look at all these names for the visual effects crew. Holy shit. See, I never realized this had an in memoriam credit. R.I.P. Andrew Jack. Wow. I don't know who Andrew Jack is, but yeah. I doubt he was in the movie, but he got the in memoriam credit. That's sad. An in memoriam credit always fucks me up a little bit. Like I'll get to the end of additional crew died in 2020. Oh, he was in The Last Jedi. He's the guy who holds the binoculars on The Last Jedi on the Salt Planet. I actually knew who this fucking guy was. That's crazy. I remember hearing when he passed away. Damn, Andrew Jack, man, I miss you, dog. Oh, goodbye. That's hard. I love that. Yeah, www.rataalada.com. That's hard. A new reality.